Oh, yeah, exactly. What future people are gonna look at you?
Hi, one. Okay, let's open the Bible. Shut up. Hmm. Okay. One more messages, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay, so remember how we talked about CS, the critical section? Where is it? Yeah. Remember how we talked about the critical section? And we're not supposed to allow two different processes enter the CS at the same time, right? Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. We're not supposed to allow different processes enter the CS at the same time. So if you look over here in these questions, if you go back over here, where is it?
It's selected 10, 11, I
Yeah.
think.
Remember how we had while statement to avoid different processes to enter the CS at the same time? Because the while statement, it checks the condition and only at one time flag could be either false or true. So when it comes over here, if let's suppose flag one is true. No, let's suppose flag one is true. So if it's true, it's gonna be stuck inside of this, right? So this will allow P1 to go to CS. So something like that. So instead of using this, we could also use semaphore that could block different processes to enter the CS at the same time, And we'll discuss how we implement semaphores and the use of it. And we're gonna need this for exam 2 as well. I mean project 2. That's the first sort of a binary semaphore. Do you guys remember this or no? PS and
Yes.
VS.
Yeah.
PS basically
Wait.
minus minus basically, and VS basically adds, right?
Yep.
So it's I'm not gonna honestly, yeah. When you put when you do synchronization different between processes, right? Most of the times you do PS before the CS. So what this does is that let's suppose the semaphore is S equal to 1, right? Let me write it. Let's put semaphore is S equal to 1, right? Oh, I kind of get it now. Oh, things are clicking. Give me 1 second. Let me do it on my iPad.
Yes. Let's say S is equal to 1.
Give me 1 second. I'm connecting my iPad. I kind of get it now.
Gotcha. Let me know if you need help.
Got you. No, because I want to show you how semaphores work. Once you get the basic idea, then it'll make sense.
अरबाब तो शादी में है भाई.
उसकी अपनी नहीं होगी, बाकी सबकी शादी में जाएगा भाई ये बंदा. अब plug in. Okay, install bro. Honestly, it's not hard. Sorry, it's not hard.
Easy.
Yeah,
You said
easy.
it's so hard or it's not hard?
It's
It's
not
not
hard.
hard.
Okay.
Yeah, that should give you some hopes.
Some hopes, yeah.
Yeah.
Work, please. Yo, can you see my screen?
G.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Okay, so remember how we did binary semaphore?
Yes.
Yeah. Work. Why isn't this working? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. Okay, yeah. So let's suppose ये क्यों नहीं चल रहा? So let's suppose we have a binary semaphore, right? And we call it S, and then we start off with 1, because we know binary it's either 0 or 1, right? So we start off with 1, and we have 2 different processes. P100. If something doesn't make sense, let me know, because this is super important. You need to know this. And we have 2 different processes, and both of them have critical section. Critical section, to make it easy, let me, instead of putting critical section, let me do both of them. Both of them have a process that uh, one of them does apples plus plus. One of them does apple plus plus, and one of them does apple minus minus. So unlike exam 1, we had the while loop, which allows us to, like, go into apples plus plus at one time. There's another way you could do this. You could use semaphores. So one way to do this is implementing semaphore. We know P is basically uh, doing minus minus on this, and V is basically saying, what is on? V is basically saying doing plus plus on it, right? And then we'll put this over here. Now let's just go over how this works, okay? So let's suppose this starts off with s equals to 1, and the CPU is running. And first of all, it executes process 1, right? When it executes process 1, it does first statement first. It does this line first. What's gonna happen when it does this?
1 becomes 0.
Yes, s becomes
0.
0. Once it becomes 0, let's suppose it goes to the next line, which is apples plus plus, right? Forget what apples is. Let's suppose it's executing this, right? In the meantime, while it's executing this for process 100, the CPU switches to process 200. Okay? Does that make sense?
G.
And it does PS. Okay? It does PS. What's gonna happen to S value now?
Negative
It's
1.
stay at 0. No, it's gonna change to 1. It's gonna
No,
stay at 0. No, the process 200 is gonna get into the queue. It's gonna get blocked.
So it's gonna 0 is gonna stay at 0, and this is basically gonna get blocked. Okay? So what this means is that if you think about it, when you say it's blocked, it's gonna get blocked, meaning it's gonna be stuck in this line. It's gonna get stuck in this line until when s finally becomes 1, right?
Isn't 0 goes to -1?
No, that's for counting semaphore, not for binary.
Oh,
Binary
okay.
only has 0 or 1. Like over here. Work. Binary only has 0 or 1. Counting has, we'll go over counting too, but keep this in mind. Binary only has 0, 1. So if it's 0, it'll still go to 0, but it'll just block this process. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You sure?
Hmm?
So by block, you can either say it goes to block Q, or you can either, in other words, you can also say that it just stays stuck over here. It stays stuck in this line. So it won't be able to execute this line. So so they come. It's not gonna be able to execute this line until what? Until what happens?
Until the semaphore gets released or
Semaphore becomes 1, right? Samajh lagi?
But we can always also look at it the other way, right? That it's in the queue, and then until VS is hit, that and everything gets released, right?
But it, देखो ना,
Wahab, your voice little bit low. Can you speak? Like, are you far from it?
can you hear it now? Can you hear now?
Yeah, now it's good.
Okay,
Better.
sorry. Okay. देखो, Umar, when we say it's blocked, we just say that it's blocked in this line. We don't say the whole process is blocked. We say blocked in this line. So
Yeah.
if you look at the code for PS, where's the code?
No, I
Yeah,
understand. I understand. It's just I'm saying that even if you put it in the queue, I don't think it hurts you, right? Does it?
it does hurt you. If it's in the queue, it won't be able to go to the next line.
Exactly, and exactly until we do P100 release VS.
Yes, that's what I'm gonna come to. वही मैं पूछना चाह रहा था. Good thing. It's gonna get released when this becomes VS.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So let me repeat that. So we see that first, P100 goes, it does PS, right? PS makes semaphore from 1 to 0, and then nothing happens. It just goes to the next line. Next line, it does Apple plus plus, and when it does Apple plus plus, let's suppose. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I'm saying let's suppose the CPU brings in P200, and instead of finishing P100, it starts P200, right? And then when it starts P200, it does PS. So when it does PS, we look at semaphore. What's the value for semaphore? Semaphore was 0. So it changes 0 to
0.
So according to the code that we learned from quiz 2, we know that if it's 0 and it goes to 0, it basically gets blocked. So when we say, okay, block ka matlab basically bola kya hai? Block means that it's gonna be stuck in this line. It can't move to the next line. Does that make sense? It's the same as saying it's stuck in a while loop. हाँ, और क्या? वो नहीं. It's stuck in the while loop. It's the same as that. Okay, does that make sense?
G.
And the only way it can access Apple plus plus is when it hits VES. So what the CPU is gonna do, it's gonna come back to P100, right? It's gonna come back to P100, and then it's gonna finish Apple plus plus, and then it's gonna do VS. So once it does VS, 0 finally becomes 1. When it finally becomes 1, P200 is like, oh, it's finally 1. I can now release it from the block queue. And when it gets released, it then goes to the P200, can now go into the critical section, which is Apple minus minus, and then do VS. Does that make sense?
So semaphore allows you to have mutual exclusion.
Yes. Does that make sense? So one more thing I forgot to say is that when this does VS, right? When this does VS, this becomes 0 to 1, right? 0 to 1. And then when we move back to P200, which is the same as this line, right? It's gonna change the semaphore back to 0.
But
Okay.
actually, question, you're actually right on the fact that I shouldn't look at it as a queue, because if I look at it as a queue, and then 0 would never become a 1.
Yes. Don't look at it as a queue. Just look at
Yeah.
it as if it's gonna just get blocked in that line. Think of it
Yeah.
as a while loop. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So when we do VS over here, P100 switches to P200, we know that semaphore became 1, right? So when it does 200 again, 1 goes back to 0. So would that get blocked? No, right? But this ensures that if there's any other process like P300, P400, P500, they cannot go to the critical section until this is done running. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I'm gonna show example of this using graph.
Say.
which is one of the questions on the exam. Let me ask Saima, does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yep.
If let me know, Denise, if it doesn't make sense, let me know, because I know it's this is kind of confusing. I remember last semester it was super confusing for us too.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
good.
Another thing, okay, let me in exam or like in real life, when you actually do operating system and stuff, instead of using P equal to S, normally the general word for this is called P equal to mutex.
G.
Okay. So mutex is basically a variable. It's not something all crazy. It's just the general term used for the semaphore in operating system. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go over the graph now. And this is for binary. I'll show counting later. But most of the time what happens is that reader writer and most of those questions has binary. So they don't have counting. So counting is kind of confusing, you know?
Well, looking at this, should I forget about the original code that was given to us, like releasing from the queue and then that
Yeah,
stuff?
forget that.
Forget it?
Yeah. The only thing you need to know if it's 0 or not.
Okay, and I need to know as well what I need to remember for the counting as well.
Yeah.
वो counting के लिए कुछ difference तो नहीं था ना? I just want to make sure, is it the same thing or कुछ अलग?
Counting, it's gonna be a bit different, but we'll go over that afterwards, okay?
No, okay.
I mean, I'm just gonna go over binary because binary is a bit simple.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, let's go over. Okay, now we're gonna go over one of the exam questions. Okay?
Yep.
If you open the type of questions, this is question similar to sample 3. Enforcing order. I don't know.
Enforcing order कौन सा है भाई?
ठीक है?
Enforcing order, which question is that?
This is the graph question. If you look at Ivan's past exam, this is the last question, last type of question, sample 3. Go to page. Okay, go to page. Don't look at the answers, but just go to page page 14, 15.
Notes?
No, from the ultimate midterm 2 documents.
Ultimate midterm. Okay. कौन सा?
क्या चीज?
Ultimate midterm?
We don't have that, I think.
What is that?
Hasib's gonna send it to you guys.
Acha, ultimate midterm 2?
Yeah.
Acha, okay, got it.
Oh, almost send it to the chat. I don't have it in. I'm not seeing it.
It's in the drive. It's the file size is 319 KB.
Guys, don't stress. Hasib's about to send it.
You got it?
Hasib already sent it, I think.
That's just the picture. That's the one I sent already in the chat. I sent the document already for that one.
Page, you say?
Boy, you guys got it.
Okay, but what page?
Page 14. No, I'm saying don't look at the answers.
Okay.
I'm just telling you it's over here.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go over basic concepts before.
Okay, I see enforcing order, page 14, 15. Yeah, I see it. It's in the CS 340 Ultimate Midterm 2 document.pdf.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
got it.
there's 2 types of graph, right? One is a source graph. Oh no, I don't like this.
Source graph. I won't look at the answer.
One is a source graph. And the second is a sink graph.
Source graph and sink graph. Cool. Damn, I never heard about that.
So sink graph would be P1, P2, leading up to one process.
Oh, makes sense. Makes sense.
Make sense? So what this is saying is that process 1 and process 2 will only run when process 0 is done with its execution, right? So a CPU, that's what this is, CPU, right? the CPU cannot start P1 if P0 hasn't run.
Yep.
Does that make sense? It's like basically a timeline, just like how we did for 320. So in order for us to now the thing we need to do for this class and for in general is like, if we have something like this, how would we code this? You know, how are we gonna program this?
If this, then that.
Something like that. No, not if stuff. We're gonna use semaphores.
No, I thought you were talking about general and encoding.
Oh yeah, you could. I don't know how you use if and stuff, but for this stuff, it's like we're gonna make the CPU know that P1 cannot run if P0 hasn't gone, or P2 cannot go if P0 hasn't run before. Give me 1 second.
So block P1 and P2 until P0 has gone.
Yes, you got it. Smart. Pacha. You know your shit, bro. Shut the hell up.
I don't know, bro. You ask me, then it comes to my head.
Okay,
How
sorry.
many certificates are you completing? Like you're doing so many
So,
certificates.
what happened?
Who?
No, I was just looking at a site, allow me a certification of completion, you know, preventing
But
harassment.
don't look at those. Just forget those. Concentrate on the
Exam.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's suppose we're doing this first. We're gonna go over this first. Okay. Okay. So how many processes do we have? We have three processes. One is P0, right? And second is P1 or P2. Both of them are same. So we'll just put them as, we'll just write them together, okay? If you want to write them separate, you can write them separate, but technically this means that both of them are the same thing, you know? Or you could also name this P of I and be like I is equal to 1 and 2, okay? So how do we do this? So each of these process has an execution code, EC. You could call it EC because I call EC. Honestly, let's not make it confusing.
It's fine. Execute code or EC or CS or something.
Work. Yeah. Gotta be all fancy, bro. Okay, yeah. Execution code, don't stress about what execution code is. The only thing you need to know, execution code could be 1,000 lines or it could be 1 line. It's basically what P0 is. So let's suppose if P0 is like printing something, like printing a paper, right? So execution code is basically saying has a code for it. So you don't need to stress what execution code is. It could be anything, you know? Hello?
Yeah.
So that's what execution code is. It's like it could be anything, but you don't need to stress about that. But what we need to stress about is how do we synchronize it in a way that we could enforce order. So we need to enforce that P0 goes before P1 and P2. So to do this, we need to implement semaphores. Okay, how would you do semaphores for this? So let's suppose give me 1 second. Let me make some stuff. Yeah. Let's suppose for this specific question, or for this specific computer, right? This specific computer project, we have a semaphore called, we have a binary semaphore. We have a binary semaphore called S, and I start off with 0. Okay.
The question.
I mean, for this specific project.
Yeah. So what is allowing you to decide whether you start from 0 or 1? Are you trying to block something right away? or what?
You get it. You well, basically said it. You basically said it. But let me try it. Let me do it and then you get it. Okay. So we know that P0 has to go before P1 and P2, right? How do I enforce this? It starts off with 0. If it starts off at 0, do I need to put anything before the execution code?
No.
No, right? But do I need to put anything after execution code? Hmm?
Yes.
Yes. I need to put V of S. Or you could be like V of S was wait, right? I need to put V of S. The reason I put V of S over here is, let me erase this.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
The reason I put V of S over here is that once this is done running, when the code is done running, I need to let computer know that the semaphore has gone to 1.
Mm.
Has
Mm,
gone to 1. So if it's gone to 1, if it's 1, so if any other process runs that has a P before the execution code, it does not get blocked. So technically for this code, I need to put a P before the execution code. And why
oh,
is that?
makes sense.
Why is that so? The reason I put a P over here is, let's suppose CPU just we just turned on the CPU, right? Just turn it on, and the CPU decides to run P1. According to this graph, right? The CPU decides to do P1 first. And based on this code, and based on this semaphore, what's gonna happen?
It's gonna get blocked.
It's gonna get blocked. So semaphore is gonna stay from 0 to 0, and yeah, it's gonna stay from 0 to 0, and it's not gonna reach execution code over here. But the only way it could go to execution code is when P0 runs, when this part runs, it finishes the execution code and hits this.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We'll do we'll do 1 or 2 more examples. It'll make more sense. But this is yeah,
Yeah,
but
yes, I understand that.
does that make sense? But there's one thing missing though. There's one thing missing. We forgot to add. The VS for this. Because you also put, you have to put VS for over here.
Oh,
Where
to
would I put VS?
release. Uh,
After execution code.
After execution code, right?
Mm.
Let's suppose I do this. Do you think that's right or no?
uh,
Umar,
What's your question, Wahab?
where do I put VS for the P1 and P2?
So if we finish P0 and then go to P1 and P2, we'll put VS after execution code, no? And if
Yes.
we don't, then it will be blocked in PS. So
Yes, it's gonna be blocked in PS. And let's suppose P1 runs. Let's suppose P1 is running and P2 also needs to run. If we don't put VS, P2 cannot get the semaphore because it's gonna stay in blocks. Basically nothing makes a semaphore back to unblocked state, right?
Mhm.
But thing is, there's one thing wrong though.
you mean if you switch back to P0?
Yeah, there's one thing wrong. Most of us will think VS goes over here, but VS technically doesn't go over here. VS goes over here
After the PS?
before the execution code. And the reason for this is technically based on this graph,
Mm.
right? Based on this graph, we know that one P0 one P0 executes, it's either P1 or P2, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Where does it say that they cannot run at the same time?
Isn't that a rule that you should know? I don't know. So behind your
No.
back of your
Ba-
head.
based on based on this code, right? It's saying that they cannot run at the same time.
Oh, so okay. So because we're not told that they cannot run at the same time. That's why this code is wrong. Otherwise, it would be
So,
correct.
because based on this code, what this code does is that let's suppose P0 is finished running, right? let me do the execution step. Sorry. Where do I put this? Let me erase this. Give me 1 second. Based on this code, what this is saying is that when P0 is done, it's done with the execution code, it does VS. So a semaphore becomes from 0 to 1, right?
Mhm.
And then P1 goes. P1 does PS. P1 does PS. And then it changes the semaphore from 1 to 0. And then it does the execution code. Let's suppose it's doing the execution code and suddenly P2 came. And P2 does PS.
It's
P2
blocked.
does, it's gonna get blocked,
Mhm.
right? Which does not satisfy this. This never says that P2 cannot run before P1. This doesn't say that P2 should get blocked because of P1, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
Makes
right.
sense. Makes sense.
The way we do this is instead of having VS over here, we put VS.
Together. So then immediately anybody can come again.
So we put VS over here. Give me 1 second. Sorry, my fault. We put VS over here because right after because this becomes 0, we want it to become back to 1 so that it does not get blocked, you know?
Yep.
So if it's not blocked, it means that P2 can also come and they can run at the same time. Because if you have VS over here, it means that when P1 is running, P2 cannot run, you know? But we don't want that, you know?
Okay.
Mhm.
Let me give you an example. It's like, okay, yeah, honestly. But does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, I'll explain once again.
Makes sense, but yeah, makes sense.
Makes sense.
Okay. And now let's do the opposite one. Now we have P1 and P2 leading to P0. And now I'm going to ask you guys, where would you place your, because since you get the basic concept, I'm going to ask you guys, where would you put your P's and V's?
Okay. Okay.
1 second.
P's and V's. Okay. Again.
Bachata Bob is going to be so lost.
Wait, so okay, let me understand the question first. So P0 cannot run before either P1 or either 2 or together.
So it's saying that P0 cannot run
Until
before both
fin-
are done. Yeah, until
Both.
both are
Okay.
done.
Both.
So
Okay.
let's suppose P1 is done and P2 hasn't run.
Okay.
P0 cannot go. In order for P0 to run, both are supposed to finish.
Both are supposed to finish. Okay.
So P1, P2 will have VS after the execution code, right?
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, Lamia. I'll just give you guys one thing that you don't know. You could also use extra variable for this. So instead of using just semaphore, that's what we have a binary semaphore, right? Give me 1 second. I'll let you answer. That's what we use binary semaphore, right? It could be anything. You guys decide. But you could also use one more thing, which could be int counter.
If counter is equal to 2, then you can use the P0 or something like that.
Yeah, I'm now think of it. Use your coding the mark to think of it.
So we can put a counter in P1 and P2, and then okay. So put a counter in P1, P2.
1 second. What happened? What you can put a counter where?
In the above execution code.
Of
Or
P1.
after P1, P2. Oh no, after. Just put after. You know, I don't know if you have to put after or before. Actually, put it before. It doesn't matter. Just put it before the counter. Okay, put the counter before the execution code in P1, P2. Put the counter. Put it, bro. Put it. Put it.
Put counter.
Yeah, and then put a mutex around them, around the counter.
Bro, you're looking at the answer,
I'm
dumbass.
not. I swear, I haven't looked. I swear.
How do you know this?
Because the collision or whatever that's called,
Okay.
data covariance.
Okay, let's not go with mutex right now. Well, if you do mutex right now, it's gonna get confusing. Mutex I'll explain afterwards. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Forget mutex for now. I know, but but guys, Umar has done this before. I'm telling you guys, Umar has done this before. Go next.
Bro, I went to class
Okay,
last.
Wahab, teach us at the first. I don't know about this.
What happened?
Okay, he wants you to face a problem, then he's gonna teach you. Okay.
I'm gonna. I want you guys to face a problem, and then I'll teach.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, okay, then counter. Okay, I don't know what to do. I forgot.
And okay. So
What? If counter is equal to 2, then what happens? I don't know.
it will do PS, right? If it is equal to 2.
Yeah, but then yeah, exactly. But you need to release something for P0 to happen. You need to block it initially. So initially we need to have like a P something, PS or something.
For P0.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a PS up. Let's have a
Yeah.
PS up here.
Okay, yeah. And set that to 0.
Semaphore is set to 0.
Yeah, so it gets blocked. So after the execution code,
The
if
P1
counter is equal if counter is equal to 2, I guess. If counter is equal to 2,
Yeah. What happens?
VS, I guess, maybe something like that. I don't know. Honestly, I
How
don't
many
know.
of you guys think that's right?
I don't
Think
know.
about. Okay, think about it. Think about it. Think how would this work? Make up scenarios like make up, or if this
Okay,
is running first.
Okay, so let's make a scenario. P0 is running. It gets blocked right away. Cool. Nothing happens. 0 gets blocked. Okay, P1 happens. Counter goes up. Okay.
Counter starts off with 0. Okay.
Oh,
Counter
counter
goes
is
to
0.
1.
Yeah. Counter is 2 to 1, and then it executes, and the if statement does not run. Okay, so does do I need an else statement? Else.
No, you don't need else statement. Else you don't need to do
Okay.
anything.
Okay. Then P2 comes and counter becomes 2, and it executes. And then if counter is equal to 2, now it releases. And now you can go back to P0, and then this becomes 1, and then it executes.
Yeah, that's correct.
Is
That's
that
correct.
it?
Yeah, that's right.
Right? No shit.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go over this. Do you see? Let me, Simon. Do you guys get a gist of it? Like even a small gist of it, or
Can you go over it?
yeah? But do you
Person,
guys get why he has a counter over here?
No.
Okay, yeah. Okay, no problem.
straight up no.
Straight up no.
No, I feel comfortable when it's come to Wahab voice. I don't know why, but it's so like
No, I wasn't even
Arbab said.
teaching it. I wasn't teaching. I was just trying to. I
No,
wasn't sure either.
I
I
was
wasn't sure.
asking him. Okay, so
Yeah.
देखो ना, we know this is a binary. Oh shit. Okay, we know this is a binary semaphore, right? So in a binary semaphore, we have either 0 or 1. So unlike counting, हम इसको like we cannot do 1, 2, 3. We cannot do 2, 3, 4. So we need to ensure. Let me make this again. We need to ensure coding in a way that it says that P1 is done and then P2 is done, then P0 can run. So something we need to check this. We need to check this by a counter. We need to check this by a variable, which first checks, acha, P1 is done, add the counter, right? Add something to the counter, which is it's gonna add, and then when P2 is done, add into the counter. And the reason we have a counter is because that when the counter reaches a specific number, it could be anything. When a counter reaches that specific number, then do VS. Okay. Let me go over this once again. Let me go over this once again. But you get why it's binary. The car. Let me go over this once again. Okay.
I think she told us that you can do counting for everything, but she doesn't prefer counting at all.
I don't know. That's wrong, I guess. Let's suppose. So based on this, we know that P0 cannot run when P1 and P2 is done, right, Sama?
Mhm.
Okay, na?
Yeah.
So let's suppose we have a PS over here, and semaphore is 0. Binary semaphore is 0. And we do PS. What's gonna happen over here? Let's put P0 is ran, and P0 does PS. What's gonna happen to the semaphore?
Block.
It's gonna get blocked, right? Because S goes from 0 to 0, and it gets blocked. It can never do the execution code, or could never run, basically. So how do we ensure? How do we? So for this, we need a VS, right?
Yeah.
But how do we ensure that? No, where do we put VS in a way that it knows that both the processes are done running? So for this, I'm saying, for this we use counter. The reason we use counter is, let's suppose after P0 gets blocked, P1 goes, and this counter plus plus, right? I'm saying you're supposed to know this. It's not something you're supposed to know from before. It's something. It's like a way to implement this, right? So you do counter plus plus. Oh, wait, hold on one second. I think I'm kind of doing. One second. One second. One second. One second. One second. One second. Give me 1 second. Oh, okay.
Abdul,
Yes.
there'll be a problem if people counter after execution, right?
We might be socha. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, it doesn't matter where we put the counter.
No, I was thinking like, okay, both of them execute and then you hit the next line and then counter's only one right now. Because only process one does its work and process two just does its work, but it doesn't go down.
What you mean?
Like, yeah, because the main job, it's like it does its job, right? And then I'm thinking is only process one is does its job, and process two also does its job, but it doesn't go down, and the counter is only set to one, you know? Like it doesn't necessarily have to go through all of the lines, does it?
It does have to. In order for P0 to run, it has to finish everything.
Okay.
Technically, when we do PS and VS, when we write PS and VS, it just shows that the first line and the last line of this code is gonna be this, and the remaining is execution code.
Hmm.
So that's what we're saying. So technically, oh shit.
I was gonna ask you, does it matter or not?
Maybe वही सोच रहा था. Technically, it shouldn't matter where we put the counter, because even if we put it over here, or even if we put counter over here, I don't think it matters. And I think the professor wants it after the execution code.
Does she? I think she put the mutex around it, and then if she wants it to run one by one, she would put it inside the mutex.
No, I'm saying after execution code, because in Bible stuff, it doesn't say that where she wants the counter.
Maybe.
No, yeah, because there's no execution code in the Bible thing. So let's assume, okay, I'm gonna do this a different way. Yeah, let's put it after execution code, so it's not confusing. Okay.
Sure.
So let's suppose there's execution code EC, and then we have counter over here. Okay. Simon, now let me explain. Now, no, trust me, Umar, this is so much easier now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be easier to explain now.
I mean, for me, it was the same thing. Yeah.
No, for me, it's gonna be easier to explain. Okay, yeah. So, Sama, let's suppose P1 goes first, right? It does the execution code. Once it does the execution code, we need to somehow let the computer know that it has gone, like it has finished or it has executed, right? For this, we will use a counter. And what counter does, it basically adds like how many processes are gone basically, or how many processes of this batch are gone. So we just do counter plus plus. So when P1 is done, counter becomes 1. And then when P2 is done, counter becomes 2. And basically the next line is the if statement. The if statement says that if counter equals to 2, then do VS. Then basically do VS. Once we do VS, semaphore basically goes back to 1. And when it goes back to 1, this becomes unblocked and it does the execution code. And now let me explain why we have an if statement. The reason we have an if statement is because let's suppose we do P1 first, and it does the execution code, and then it does counter plus plus, right? Counter plus plus. That's over here. We do P1 first, it does counter plus plus, and then we do the if statement. What is if statement? If statement is counter equals to 2, then do VS, right? We do EC, we do counter plus plus, counter becomes 1, and then we do this. It checks what is counter. Since only P1 ran, do you think we should do VS or not? Saima Lamia?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, I'm saying
What?
I'm saying
Mhm.
only P1 ran. ठीक है ना? खाली P1 ran,
Mhm.
and then counter becomes 0 to 1. Do you think we should do VS?
No,
No. Why?
Why?
Yeah.
because the counter has to be 2 to do the BS.
Yes. The counter
Acha.
is 2. That's why we do the if statement. That's why we have this if statement. If statement basically देखता है कि कितने processes हो गए हैं. How many processes are done executing. So when P1 runs and it does this, it says it doesn't satisfy. It just goes to the next line and the execution stops. And instead of P2 running, let's suppose P0 runs. Like उसकी मर्जी है. Like CPU, it does P0. P0 will, it does PS. What's gonna happen to PS? Because semaphore is still 0. What's gonna happen to PS?
Blocked.
Block.
It's gonna get blocked, right?
Mhm.
And the only way this gets unblocked when counter this becomes 2. And the only way this becomes 2 if P2 also runs and P2 increases the counter.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do a summary for this type of question, because you just need to remember this, and most of them is similar. Most of them are same. So let's suppose we have one graph is, let me change colors. Most of them are gonna be like the same concept. You just need to memorize. So let's suppose we have P0. P1 goes to P2, P3, and P4, okay? And there's another graph called P0, P1, and P2. It goes to P3. ठीक है? The general way you're gonna make the code for this specific question for binary, not for counting, only for binary. The way you do it. So this we know it's easy. This one was easy, right? So P1 is gonna be P1 execution code, and then I'll say PI. Check. Let's suppose I is 2, 3, 4. So let's just do this. Okay. You just need to remember this in this general format, and then over here you do PS and VS. Right?
Why bro, ask us, bro, why you writing it, bro?
I'm saying just memorize this.
Execute code and then VS releases it so other people can do it, block it, and then release it so other processes can come and then execute. Okay, got it.
Does that make sense? So जिस तरह हमने please don't, yeah, the thing we discussed over here, yeah, the thing we discussed over here, right? Where is it? PS, VS, and then only VS after the execution code. That's what I'm just saying over here. I'm just saying, just memorize this for a question that for a graph that's like this, okay?
Okay.
That's good. Just memorize this for a graph that's like this, and then for this, for a graph that's like this, the thing you need to memorize. Okay, for this I'm gonna ask you guys, because this is kind of the harder one. Where would you put your P's and E's, and if you have a counter, where would you put that?
So the counter needs to be in the P234 because it needs to count the number of processes that goes through it.
Yeah.
And okay, you could put it after the ES, I guess, or EC, whatever, execution code.
Counter.
Count after that, and then the if statement, if a counter is equal to number of processes or whatever it is, 3, and then release the PS, and then okay, you can put a PS in on top of the NP0.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah.
So the left hand side, the thing we're doing is for the P0, P1, P2 goes to P3, right?
This is for this,
Mm-hmm.
and everything over here is for this.
Yeah. So why we do P0 here? Because P0, P1, and P2 going to P3.
I'm saying, I'm just what I explained over here, all of this, I'm just summarizing all of this.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm just summarizing this. I'm just saying there's two types of graph. One graph is when one process lead to different processes, and another type of graph is when different processes lead to one process. That's what I'm just explaining.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm just summarizing this so that you could take a screenshot and just memorize this, you know?
Okay, I'm writing actually.
I'm gonna give you a question and you'll do on yours and then we'll go over it. Okay?
Aye.
And what about P0 over here?
PS. We do PS.
Where? After EC?
Before.
Before. Okay, good. Does this make sense? Someone like it? Okay,
Yes.
let me give you guys a question and you guys try to solve it. Let me think of something. Let me think. Okay. The question today is gonna be
Question of the day.
question of the day. We have a question.
Do I get a golden star if I get it right?
Or one more thing we forgot to do. Every time you do these execution code, make sure you write what the variables are. For this, variable is binary semaphore.
Huh?
Variables. Binary semaphore s equal to 0.
Oh, define the semaphore, the VS, you mean, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
and over here s equals to 0 2, but we also have an additional thing, which is counter.
Yeah, makes sense.
So we need to define these. So let's first of all, I'm gonna give you two questions, right?
It was defined at 0, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you guys two questions.
Block it. Okay.
In the meantime, I'll just go get water.
Okay.
Honest, I don't like this.
This
This is an easy one. We'll do 4 questions today. This is easy, and then we'll go over the hard ones. But for our class, she gave us like super hard question, and everybody was lost. I think no one was able to do it.
except for you.
Even me, I don't think I was able to do it. Yeah, I'm not even joking, bro. Okay, write me the execution sequences for this, and then after this, write the execution sequence for this. P4 leads to P6.
Okay, I'm done. I just changed the counter to 4.
Question 1. Bro, I'm saying new one just for practice. You know how, just don't do on a previous one. Do just for practice, just do on a new one, okay? In the
Yeah.
meantime, I'll be back.
So yeah. Okay. Go on. Bye-bye. Get
But
lost.
I'm over here.
Wahab, scroll up to the
No,
scroll
no,
up.
no. I have to copy the push.
Oh, okay. Okay, copy.
Okay. Do it.
Honestly, I don't like this. Let's also have, let's do this P8 and let's have P6 over here too. Let's do fours for this.
You writing something down? I don't see anything.
Mm. Okay.
Okay.
Now you can scroll up.
Now you can just stay here. Let's see. I'm lost. Oh shit.
You're lying. Such a liar.
I don't lie. I'm stuck on P0. What the heck did I write? P. Okay, I got it.
Same, right? It's not the same?
Huh?
I think it's the same thing.
No, it is the same thing, but I don't want to look at the code, so that's why I need to start over again. Yes. Lamia, when you graduating?
This semester.
Nice. You have summer classes or no?
No.
Oh my God, good job.
Mm.
Good job. Mhm.
Um,
And then execute.
counter.
Okay.
Plus.
P. Okay, I come up to B now. Finally, it took me so long.
Equals to 4. Yes.
Azerbaijan, you're here or no?
Asid knows everything.
Alright, so smart.
Yeah.
Steve is like, see, Steve is the person you should tell him, like, you're lying, you know everything. See, why I don't know why you guys tell me, like, he knows everything.
You are a nerd.
I wish I was a nerd. I don't even know how to read a book.
Don't act, okay? You're not in drama class.
I took it last semester.
I know. That's why you know how to act. Be like you are actually a nerd and acting like you don't know anything. Acting like me.
Like you?
Like not
Like
act
you?
like you are like dumb like me. You are acting. I am the dumbest one here.
No, you're not. I am. You guys have studied hard. I don't, you know. I barely. You guys are graduating. You guys are graduating ahead of me.
Didn't study and you got 87, right?
I mean, I only studied what Wahab taught me that one video. That's it. I didn't study anymore. I didn't get to write anything because I was busy.
You? Yeah.
और quiz दौरान EC counter
Okay.
if counter equal 4.
You didn't finish?
I couldn't think when you were talking.
Amar, you're like the most fake person ever, bro.
Yeah.
Why do you say that, bro? I
You
don't
like
know.
the,
Why
I
that.
know.
Drama classes last semester. So
What?
he took that taking that drama thing like seriously.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know, Wahab. You should believe me, man. You're like, come on, man. You know I never lie, right?
No one believes you.
Cap.
Don't be bad now. Oh, I'm done. I'm finally done. Took me a long time though.
Were you guys able to do?
Yes.
I think
Steve Simon?
Hasib, let Hasib do it, bro. I haven't heard him, bro.
I did, but I think it's wrong.
Let's go over it.
I don't even know it is
How are you guys
right.
gonna share? You wanna send a picture in the group chat?
Oopsie.
My bad. Let's send a picture. Which group am I in? What the heck? There's so many groups.
Let's finish up this. Let's finish up this in the next 15 minutes. Then we'll go over the question, hard ones.
Yeah, okay.
This, bro, this is like the easiest one out of all.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's the like same thing like we did right now, right?
Yeah. No, not same.
It's not same?
It's, technique for exam, it's gonna be like this. P0 goes to P1, goes to P2, then P2 goes to P3, P4, and then this goes to P5, and it's gonna be something like P4, then P. You have to synchronize all of them.
I don't know.
What happened?
I can't see anything, Anika. Is your name Anika? What is your name?
It's Annika, my nickname.
What? It's your nickname? That's not your name? Like, who's Anika? I bet. Let me see your answer. Hmm.
No, this don't do this. I'm just saying this is the type that's gonna come on exam.
Don't do it. What? Oh.
I
Let's do that.
But let's go over counting first, then we'll go over this.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Counting. Let's go with counting. Yeah, Anika, that's correct.
okay.
Anika.
It's not Anika, it's Annika.
What the heck, Anika?
Bro, hurry up.
Go
I
on, kiss his
I
I'm ready.
Oh.
we stand already.
Umar, yours wrong.
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Oh shit, plus भूल गया.
Oh,
Anika was talking, so that's why I couldn't focus.
excuse me?
Okay, where's Anika's?
That shouldn't take that much time.
I'm not fast like I told you. I'm not smart as you. Ajab,
Stop.
begin, please. I don't know how to do that part. Highlight each section one by one. How do I do that?
Okay, one thing I need to highlight before this is, like Umar was saying, let me explain. Over here, you need to put a mutex.
Oh yeah, वो भूलना मत. वो बहुत important है.
Guys, the reason you put mutex over here is
After
for
it,
before and after counter.
I'm busy, man.
Okay, let me ask Simon Hasib. The reason you do this is that if you don't do this, it could cause data coherence issues.
okay.
Because thing is, let's suppose two different processes do counter at the same time, and they're not able to add at the same time. No, they're not able to add properly. So let's suppose. मुझे mute कर ले.
Drama King, muted yourself.
Drama King. Okay, yeah. So the reason we put mutex over here is to have data coherence, right? Even if it doesn't make sense, just remember this. Every time you have a counter, put mutex before and after. And we do this so that let's suppose, because we're saying that P2, we said that P2, 3, 4, they can run at the same time, right?
Yeah.
If they run at the same time, and if you don't have mutex, they could go to counter at the same time.
Yeah.
And what's gonna happen if they go to counter at the same time?
Block.
Only go to one.
Then if they do counter at the same time, what can happen is load, ink, and store. There could be issues on that.
Yeah.
Like we did from exam 1.
One more thing, also you define mutex as a binary semaphore, right?
Yeah, you need to define mutex too.
Yeah.
As one. Mutex always as one.
Okay.
And
One.
remember, mutex, just I'm gonna go over this in like next 15 minutes, mutex is going to be super important. You can name a mutex or anything, but the general word for this is mutex.
जी समझ गए.
अच्छा ठीक है. I
जल्दी
guess
जल्दी जाओ.
I think you guys got this. Let's go over counting semaphore.
अच्छा, I think we will need counting for this. We need to count how many layers we have.
Yes. Let's suppose I have let's suppose I have a graph P0, P1. No, let's do this first. Let's P0 goes to P1 and P2. Okay.
जी.
How would you make the code for this? Give me 1 second. Let me just write the code first.
So we're using counting now.
As EC. And remember count or don't I know you're looking at the answer.
I'm not, I swear. I don't know what the answers are.
Okay. Remember that counting, you could put semaphore as anything. You go for 1, 2, 3, 4, anything you want.
So I'm just looking at the code for the counting thingy.
Yeah, I also forgot the code.
The only
note.
thing you need to know for counting thingy is when it's less than 0, when it's less than 0,
Yeah.
then it gets blocked. That's the only thing you need
Oh
to
Then
know.
yeah, yeah. 1 is less than 0. It's less than equal to 0.
Less than 0, blocked. That's what you need to know.
Yeah,
You
gotcha.
don't need to know the code by heart. There's less than 0, blocked. बस इतना चाहिए बस आपको.
सही है, समझ गया.
समझ गया. ठीक है, समझ गया. अब जाओ घर.
Less than 0. Bro.
Okay, what's the answer?
Eh?
How would you do the code?
Acha, we need to block P0, so the answer would be start the counter, initialize the counter as at 0.
Huh?
Initialize the counter at 0.
What?
For
Can
this,
you repeat? What are you saying? I don't
what
understand.
are you
Sorry,
saying, bro?
initialize the counting semaphore at 0.
Why do you? Okay,
Why?
you know the semaphore we can do up to infinity. Do you think we need counter?
Eh? Yeah.
You know that the semaphore can go up to like infinity, right?
Ji.
Yes.
Do you think we need a counter for counting then?
Counter for counting. No, meaning a variable name counter. मैं counting variable
Wait,
बोल रहा हूँ.
I don't know. Do you think we need a counter variable then?
मतलब नहीं, as a name, I'm not talking about a counter variable.
अच्छा
Like
ठीक है,
that.
let's do it. Let's do it. Okay,
Okay.
counters.
Counter okay, counting semaphore s equals 0.
Counting int counter equals to
नहीं
0.
वो काउंटर नहीं कह रहा हूँ भाई, काउंटिंग सेमाफोर बोल रहा हूँ.
Oh,
S is
ये
equal.
बोलना, bro. I'm gonna beat you up, bro.
काउंटिंग सेमाफोर बोल रहा हूँ, काउंटर नहीं बोल रहा हूँ.
Okay, counting. Why are you looking at the answer?
I'm not, bro. I have nothing in front of me.
S equals to 0. Okay.
The plus.
I bet. Okay, now if you go to P0, you can put PPS, right? To block. No, we don't need to block PS0. Sorry. We need to block P. Yeah. Okay. So PS in the right section of the P1 P2 section.
PS over here. Yes.
Yeah.
आगे.
Then you get blocked. सही है,
Yes.
समझ गया. So release would happen after execution, I guess, again for P0. So VS again after execution for P0.
Over here.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
आगे.
don't know. Let me think. Okay. अब ये release हो गया तो becomes 1 and then PP 2 अगर दोनों हो गया तो फिर block नहीं होगा दूसरा process. मैं confused हूँ. अच्छा, execution के बाद हमें एक और VS तो नहीं चाहिए ना? I'm a little lost, I think. Well, I think PS के बाद एक और VS चाहिए होगा शायद. I think so. Because दूसरा block हो जाएगा if I do it 2 times. So let's put VS, one more VS underneath the PS maybe.
Over here.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
तो बस हो गया ना?
Hmm?
हो गया, I think, right? I don't know. I have no idea. Lamia, help me.
Yeah, I think you're correct. If you don't put BS, it's gonna. Hold on, it's less or less than equal.
Tell me.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Let's traverse through it, okay?
Okay,
P0
let's try to
happens,
do this. Let's try to do this.
P0 happens, and then it releases.
Let me do this. P1, ठीक है ना?
हाँ, P1
P1
क्या?
P1
अच्छा
goes
हाँ,
first, ठीक है ना? We
ब्लॉक
do
हो गया,
PS first.
ठीक है,
0
ब्लॉक हो गया,
0 goes to -1. What happens?
ब्लॉक.
Blocked.
Blocked.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then instead of doing P0, CPU is like, okay, मैं पागल हूँ, let me do P2.
अरे मसला हो गया, मेरा कोड ही काम नहीं कर रहा.
And then instead of -1 goes to -2.
अच्छा म्यूटेक्स चाहिए मैं.
So shut up, bro. What the fudge? So instead of, okay, now if we do P2, P2 gets blocked too, but the semaphore now goes to semaphore equals to -2. Okay?
Yeah.
हाँ
Does that
मसला
make
है,
sense? Does that
मसला
make
है.
sense? Good. Now if I do P0, right? If I do P0, I do execution code. Good. And I do VS. I do VS.
Yeah.
-2 goes to -1.
Mm.
Does it get unblocked?
No, it's gonna get blocked forever.
No,
How
it's release, no?
how it releases only when if it's more than 0.
Yeah,
If it's
yeah,
0,
there's a problem. Yeah.
so
Oh,
how
but
many times do you think I should put VS after P0?
2 times.
Oh, you have to do that. You can do that 2 times.
Yes.
You can do that 2 times.
Yeah, you can put it 2 times.
Oh, I remember when you do a for loop to release it that many times.
So you just do it VS, just put it 2 times. And technically you don't have to put VS over here.
I have a
And-
question.
Yes.
So in the code, it's VS is plus plus and then less than or equal to and then release, no?
VS is less than, हाँ
Or
क्या फिर repeat that?
the VS the counting semaphore code, right?
Yeah.
When we do VS, first
Uh-huh.
is increment,
Uh-huh.
and if the value is less than or equal to 0, it release.
No. If it's less than or equal to 0, it stays in block state. But if it becomes 0 or more, then it goes out of block state.
So the only problem was the adding the 2 times VS. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. And then you don't have to put VS over here. You don't have to put VS over here.
Acha.
Because once you do VS over here, the reason you don't put VS over here is, let's suppose we do VS 2 times, right? So -2 becomes -1, and then -1 becomes 0, right?
Yeah.
And then we come back, to these statements. So P1 runs again, and P2 runs again. So they do PS. So ये लोग PS से निकल जाएंगे. 1 second, give me 1 second. Yeah, they're gonna leave the PS and they're gonna enter VS, right? So VS is gonna happen. VS is gonna make 0 to, oh work, 0 to 1, right? And then this is gonna change VS to 1 to 2. It's not a good habit if a semaphore at the end of the day it's not 0. So it's always good if after everything is done, semaphore needs to, it's good to have semaphore 0 when everything is done. Does that make sense?
So yeah.
Because if you put VS over here, तो क्या होगा जब ये इसको अनब्लॉक होकर VS दो दफा VS होगा ना, it's going to do 1 VS for P1, 1 VS for P2. So VS as semaphore is going to go to 2, which is not a good thing to do. You always make sure that once everything is done, semaphore is 0.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
So for counting semaphore, we don't use to the other processes VS, right?
Yeah, no, you don't have VS over here. No.
Okay.
So the only difference, let me repeat this again. The only difference would be EC and EC
The
over
number
here.
of time, the number of processes that you have to release.
The number of times do VS after this.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha. Makes sense.
if it's 2 processes over here, so you do 2 VSSs. So and this is for P0 equals to P1 and P2. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
You guys sure?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason we don't put counters over here is then the point of counting semaphore is like, then what's the point of counting semaphore if you have a counter? Counting
Yeah.
semaphore का नाम ही counting है. You only do that for binary semaphore to put a counter. Okay, let's suppose we have something like this now.
Backwards. Flip it.
And over here, just put like how many number of times you want to do it. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, depending on what's over here. Okay.
हमने क्लास में क्या किया था ना, for loop डाला था ना, the number of time the
You could
process.
do that too. It's the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. हाँ.
Okay, so
If statement में हमने डाला था ना.
let's suppose you have something like this, right? How would you make the code for this? Think about it. Put your brains together. How would you do this?
Okay. So we know what 0 has to block immediately.
Yes.
Hmm.
So
So,
we'll do PS on P0, right?
PS on P0. Where are you gonna put PS?
Before EC.
yeah.
Before EC, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're saying PS over here, okay. And don't look at the answer though. And where would you put PS for P1, 2, 3, or where would you put VS? What else would you put? Let's suppose, okay, one more thing I forgot to do. Let's suppose counting semaphore equal to name mutex name as equals to 0.
If it's 0, it blocks. अच्छा. Okay.
क्या?
VS 3 times after EC on P1 to 3.
Counter नहीं है ना.
No, it's
I'm lost.
I'm not talking about a counter.
No, I'm not talking with you.
अच्छा, what Steve is saying.
Yeah.
लामिया ऐसे ही डर गई.
Let me up first so bro.
Oh,
like, I'm sorry I spoke.
Nami, are you traumatized?
yeah.
Okay, where would you put VS?
P1 to 3 after EC.
Okay.
3 times.
3 times? But then it's the same as this end, no?
No, you must have, it's wrong.
Oh, over here, 3 times. Okay, let's do over here, yeah.
That's not gonna work.
You guys agree?
No, I disagree.
How? Why? How?
Because even if you run it once, right?
Hold on.
P0 is gonna be able to run right away after that.
Yes. You are smart.
What
happened?
Shut up.
I can't tell. Okay, I will shut up. You answer. Simon's gonna help you.
You answer correct and you were saying that. I don't know. I'm correct or not. I think I am not correct.
Do you guys want me to answer?
Yes. Or Umair want to say something, maybe.
Man probably knows, bro.
Yeah, right.
Let me do it to save time. Hey, buddy.
Go fast.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this is correct,
Okay.
but there's only one difference. Instead of putting 3 times over here, you do
Mhm.
3 times over here.
Oh,
Really?
Yes, and I'm gonna show you how, and why, and when, and you. Okay,
Yeah.
this was we have PS 3 times over here.
okay.
Second up. Based on this, let me ask you what this is asking, or this is saying. Somebody
Yeah, I
summarize
was
this.
thinking like that as well. Like I was thinking if counting semaphore starts from -2 or 3, would that like
Let me based on the graph, what is the graph saying? Let's go over what is the graph saying first before we answer this.
Um,
1, 2, 3 has to go before 0?
Yes, 1, 2, 3 has to go before 0. Even if 2 of them go and 1 doesn't go, P0 will not go. In order for P0 to happen or go, 1, 2, and 3, all 3 of them have to go. Jo marzi ho jaye, it has to go.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? If P0 goes, it technically cannot go. It needs to wait for the 3 semaphores. So let me show you different scenarios that can happen with this code. For this specific problem, we'll do code like this. So we'll do, let's suppose P0, we're saying that for P, we're gonna do P as 3 times.
yeah.
One for each process.
Mm-hmm.
One for each process.
Okay.
Okay? And the reason I'm saying that is, let's suppose P1 goes and it does execution statement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it does VS. What does semaphore become?
1.
1. ठीक है? And let's suppose we go back to, instead of doing P2 and P3, we do P0. P0, it does first PS.
Mm-hmm.
What's gonna happen? What happens to semaphore?
1 become 0.
1 becomes 0. So this is done. Tick. Okay. Now we move to the next line. What happens now? What happens to semaphore?
-1.
0 become -1.
0 becomes -1. So what happens now?
It blocked.
It blocks. How does it go to next line? So we're just stuck on this line. We're basically blocked over here. The way we go to EC is when P2 and P3 happen or
Mhm.
are done executing.
Yeah.
So we do P2 now.
Mhm.
P2 does EC and it does VS. So when it does VS, it changes 1 to 0. When it changes -1 to 0, this basically says that it could now leave to this PS, right? It can now leave this PS and this is done. But it's gonna get stuck on the next PS. And the reason it gets stuck on the next PS, because we need to do one more process for this, which is P3. So EC now does VS and same thing, -1 to 0. Does that make sense? That's why we have 3 PSs, 1 for each process.
Yes.
And let's suppose another way we do this. Let's suppose another way we do this. Um, okay, let's suppose we start off with P1, right?
Mhm.
P1 does execution statement and does VS. ठीक है ना? It changes 0 to 1 and that's it. And then we do P2 execution statement. VS goes from 1 to 2. And then let's suppose we do P3 and I'm saying this is a second way. This is a second way. This is not connected to this, okay? Now we do P3, it does execution statement, VS becomes 2 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
Semaphore is 3. And now CPU is like, okay, let me do P0. Okay? Now P0 checks the semaphore first. PS. It does first semaphore, 3 becomes 2. Does it get blocked?
No.
This ensures that one of the process is done.
Mhm.
Then we do another PS. This does 2, 1. Does it get blocked? No. We're good. And then it does another PS. It does 1, 2, 0. Does it get blocked? No. So we're good. And then it does execution statement. So reason we have 3 PSs is to ensure that each one of them have done the execution statement and have done VS.
जी
Got it.
ठीक है?
जी.
ठीक है very tricky था भाई
But it's like simple. It's just like you just do take a screenshot of this if you want, or we'll take screenshots at the end.
okay एक सेकंड ऊपर जाना थोड़ा समझ गया सही है, हो गया
Think about it. Just एक दफा ध्यान से देख ले if you want to see.
नेक्स्ट ना एक दफा लिख रहा हूँ ना तो I know I
Does
can
it make sense though? Let me Hasib, Saima.
Yes.
Does it make sense
Yes.
why we have PS 3 times? It's
Yeah.
so that it's so that it ensures that P0 does not run before P1, 2, P1, P2, and P3 are done.
मुझसे भी कभी पूछ लिया करो does it make sense
Bro, you're just fake, bro. You know it.
I'm learning bro you
Aw.
think इतना फारिश बैठा रहता है I need to
And then
learn
we have VS after the EC, and we know that since there are 3 processes, VS is gonna happen 3 times, and 1 VS for 1 PS.
सही है समझ गया
So yeah,
सही है
because
let's go to the hard one
P1, P2, P3, I'm basically saying P1, P2, and P3. They're like technically they're different processes, but all of them are the same. Like they have the same format. That's why we read them like this. Don't think that this is just one process. It's 2 different processes. Okay.
जी समझ गया
One more thing. हमने क्या क्या किया? Oh, we did it. हम हो गया हमारा.
yo we haven't got to the hard one yet
So let me give you a question. Okay. Let me give you a question. Should I give you a hard one or easy one?
hard one
Are you guys sure
easy
though?
ones. We don't have time for easy ones
Are you guys sure though?
Yes.
I am positive
Let's suppose if I give you something like this. P0 is P1, P2, P3, and P4. Would you guys be able to do counting for this?
easy
Easily, right?
Yes.
yeah
You guys sure?
yeah
बाद में ना बोलना बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किल मिल गया.
Yes.
Okay, let's go with the hard one.
easy है भाई चलो चलो now let's do 2-3 layers
For hard ones, I'm just gonna let you know, you don't need multiple. Yeah, for hard ones, you could use multiple semaphores. Okay? Okay? Yes, no.
okay समझ नहीं आ रहा देखना पड़ेगा
Hold on, let me see. Okay, let's go over this. How hard should I go? Okay, let's do that.
stream hard as well
Acha, let's suppose we have P0, P1,
Why
P
are you laughing?
nothing happen.
come on man, explain
What happened?
I don't know why Umer laughing. Umer got laughing gas.
why are you laughing at me it's not funny
Why are you
I'm-
laughing at me? It's not funny. We're doing serious stuff.
I'm just making fun of you.
if you're laughing
Oh,
Wahab is gonna go extremely hard
I'm going extremely hard now because Lemia is pissing me off.
oh my god bro fourth layer bro relax
Okay, this is the question.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you one hint. Do binary for this. Not hint. The question is, you implement the synchronization using binary semaphores. Okay? I'll give you 2 hints. 2 hints. Okay? Use counter.
okay
Use more than one semaphore.
you mean oh counter oh now counting okay
Use more than one semaphore. When I say more than one semaphore, you could be like S, and then you could do S1, S2, S3. one for each graph maybe, or whatever you could think of, but you could use more than one semaphore. Now, I'll give you 10 minutes to do this.
अच्छा भाई बिस्मिल्लाह कर
Don't look at the answers. Don't look at the Bible. If you guys do, Allah dekh raha hai.
भाई मैं तो कुछ नहीं देख रहा हूँ भाई मैं तो सिर्फ काउंटिंग और बाइनरी का वो कोड देख रहा हूँ
Okay, ठीक है ये?
ठीक है बस सिंपल है
मैं आता हूँ भी. चुगली नहीं करनी बस.
join up bro
P2 and then P2.
okay I don't know how to begin okay let's begin binary I'm not home yet I might miss
You meant P6? Okay. Oh, okay.
I don't know how to begin help me
Well,
I actually don't know
Bro, start dissecting the diagram.
who
Dissect the diagram.
who's on the diagram
guys,
Dissect it. Dissect it.
oh dissect it
इसके पुर्जे करो हाँ.
अच्छा अच्छा
okay.
okay 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 समझ नहीं आ रहा एक सेकंड
And this. And then we have P6.
so these kind of one okay समझ so P0 P1 P7 that goes right and then it doesn't work okay
Yeah. WS. Okay. And P2.
okay
Use more than
क्या करना है करना क्या है भाई
is doing reasons. Oh, we have to memorize this code. Oh my goodness. P Y. We're going to essay and first directory to PS and VS.
hmm
Five.
ये समझ नहीं आ रहा है
I don't know. What I'm doing.
I am stuck after P2 where do I go
P8 P7. Why?
because because if I write the P4 and P5 together, P8 and 6 are using P5. I don't know. Let me see. I don't want them to run off of P4. I think that's a problem. Oh my god, what the heck? I'm stuck. Okay, I'm stuck. 。
P
I'm making P4, P5 separate, I guess. Let's see. Let's get blocked.
I think I'm wrong.
Yeah, blocked. Okay, I'm done. I don't know if it's correct though. Okay, I'm gonna send a picture, guys. Check. Somebody can check it for me. Oh shit, I messed up. Oh my god. Never mind, I messed up. Fast. Let's see. I don't know. I feel like I'm wrong on process 4 and 5.
You are correct, I think.
No, I feel like I'm wrong on process 4 and 5. I don't know if they need to be together somehow. I don't know.
Okay, so therefore I need to change the sign. Let me do this one.
Yeah, I love how Wahab teaches. He slowly builds up. So nice.
Speed, 4, 5.
Releases, then you can go.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay, well, what are you struggling with? Let me see. I don't know if I'm correct, though. I can help you, though.
Huh?
I
What did
said,
you?
I said, I can help you. I don't know if I'm correct, though.
So did you see my thing? I just changed the semaphore.
Oh, let me see. Let me
Oh,
see.
Okay,
Process
recommend again?
2. You start from process 2. What the heck? Why are you using process 2 to the left and to the right?
Hello,
जी भाईजान.
Lucky? So much.
पता
No,
नहीं, you will tell me based on my code.
Oh, okay.
I was lost on process 4 and 5.
Let me look at yours.
Yeah, show mine and then go over it.
mm, it's same. You just change the name. I mean the semaphore, I think.
So we are both wrong.
Okay, the first part you got right. 1327. You got that right.
1327. What?
You palo wala side. You got that right.
Actually,
And then
go show it to us. Go traverse it as I look at.
no. I'm gonna do it again. I'm
Oh,
looking at yours.
okay, keep going.
P2. You got that right.
Okay.
P4.
I did it separately before in V5 because I wasn't sure if the same require.
The thing. Okay, P4. You got it right, but there's just one thing missing. P4. You got it right. You forgot the VS1 for P4.
Releases S1.
Remember,
Oh shit.
remember
Oh
how I
shit.
said? Remember how I said? Try to make binary semaphore always 0 once it's done.
Really?
Yeah, but
Really?
yeah, baby.
दो बार VS में VS1 यूज करूंगा फिर.
And you did another mistake. You used the same semaphore for you used the same semaphore S1 for P4 and P5, which is wrong.
अच्छा वहां पर दो क्रिएट करने चाहिए थे P2 में.
P2 में तुम्हारे पास you needed two different
Two
semaphores.
separate releases. अच्छा.
Yes.
अच्छा V34 क्रिएट कर दूंगा तो S3 क्रिएट कर दूं और P5 में S3 डाल दूं.
Like P2 is right there. P2 ठीक है. Your P.
उसमें ऐड कर दिया मैंने VS3.
What are you saying, nigga?
VS3 में ऐड कर दिया.
Give me 1 second. Let me think.
Wow.
So I said P5. I'm P5. P5. It's yeah. P5. Yours is yes. Honestly, P5 is right. But you forgot the VS1 for P5.
Released, but you just said I'm using S1 both places.
Bro,
No, that's right. That's right.
That's right.
That's right. You did
no,
right.
don't say he's right or wrong. Do it here.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go. But I'm just letting him know. I'm gonna cut down maybe 1 second. Yours is right. It's true. Bro, I'm telling you, this guy has done it before.
Yeah, he done it before.
यार कसम खाऊं क्या खाऊं मैं पहली बार लिख रहा हूँ.
Asif said I got wrong for all 5.
I'm impressed, bro. You got it right. But you just एक चीज missing था. मैं बताता हूँ क्या missing था. But yours is right.
भाई तू मुझे सिखाता है ना मैं सीखता हूँ भाई.
Yeah, now you pay. Wow.
भाई I will pay him. कितने $100 भी डोनेट करता हूँ इसको. कौन सी चैरिटी को करूँ.
Only?
यार इतनी
Yo,
औकात नहीं.
तूने पहले किया या नहीं किया? Honest.
क्या?
Did you do this before?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I think I got P2 only right. That's it.
No, it's just I have gone to class, so when when
didn't
you explain it, it makes sense what she was talking about.
I didn't
No.
go to class, bro. It is
Bro,
in
I told you guys, go to class. The thing is, go to her class even if it doesn't make sense.
her voice feels annoying, bro.
It doesn't matter, bro. Just go to her class.
Honestly, it makes sense when I was how I wish she had told me earlier, but then I could have answered some of her questions, you know?
Because trust me, even if 10% of her makes sense, by the time I go over it, then you're like, oh, इसने भी यही कहा था. You know?
हाँ, see, अभी मुझे अब आप जब करते हैं ना मैं 70% सीख जाता हूँ फिर.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, let's go over it. I'm a little lost. Let's
Okay, let's go over
Shut
this.
up.
After this class, Lamia is gonna hate me. And that's last semester. Habiba hated me.
Why? Okay,
I was on 331 with her.
we know we have accounting semaphore. ठीक है ना?
Mhm.
Yeah, binary semaphore. Okay, so Umar, instead of using S1s, I'm gonna use group 1, group 2, group 3. Okay,
Okay.
Okay.
group 1. Let's start off with group 1. I'm gonna make semaphore as we go on. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
make everything
exactly,
at the start.
exactly. Yeah, I didn't do that either. I just later realized I didn't have any of the semaphores written down.
Yeah, I'm gonna write them as we go on. Okay, so look at the graph first. The graph is saying the graph is saying P2, what the hell? P2 happens or P2 executes only after these 4 are done, right?
Yeah.
So we know the code for this, which
Yes.
is simple. So we do P0, 1, 2, 3, 7, whatever, Hannah. We do this. We know the code for this. And the code for this is counter
Oh.
plus plus, right? And mutex around.
Mm-hmm.
Always run counter with mutex.
भाई वो तू execution भूल गया?
Yeah, you get the point. Yellow execution.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow.
After
Happy? Happy?
वो मेरा साथ match नहीं हो रहा था.
So you get this and then the if loop.
if
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
You do if counter equals to if
4.
counter equals to 4. Why is it 4? Since there's 4 processes. 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 7. If
Mhm.
equals to this, then VS, and that's it.
So we wrote V as group 1.
Oh
This is
shit. You're right. Smart.
no, I'm just asking.
V group 1.
Good job, good job, good job.
V group 1. Good?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm basically labeling this. I'm saying that this part is group 1.
Okay.
Good?
Yes.
सही है.
Now let's go over. Now next part is P2. Based on the graph, what is P2?
Pichu. It gets blocked until
No,
4.
give me okay. Based on the graph, I'm
Mhm.
saying what function or what functions does P2 have?
I don't know.
Okay, let me make it easier. When does P2 start?
From
Uh,
P0137 gets.
yeah.
Yes, it happens when 137
Executed.
When
137.
group 1 is released, that's it. When V
Yeah,
group
yeah,
1 is released.
Yes,
That's
when group 1 is released, basically.
Yes.
So now you wait on group 1 until it's released.
Yes, sir. When group 1 is released.
And then you do execution. Good
You
job.
do. So this means that, okay, when this is done, then you do execution code.
Mm-hmm.
And then when P2 is done, what does it lead to?
Release P4 and
it
5.
goes to 4, 5.
Yes, it leads to P4 and P5.
5.
So what should we do? Should we use the same semaphore or should we make a new one?
Different, no?
Yes. And now explain why we use a different one. Okay. The reason we use a different one, let's specify
Wait, what?
In
No.
V, P,
Why?
V. Yeah, V.
Okay, my mine works backwards. I block first and then I see what can release, you know?
Yeah.
Umar, 1 second. Wahab.
Mhm.
If we write twice, like P2, if we write P2 again and then EC after, I mean, instead of writing in one thing, is it okay or we have to write?
Yeah, but if we use group 2 over here,
Oh no, if we write like after you wrote like group 1 EC, right? After that,
Yeah.
if we write again P2 and then EC, V group 2, is it okay?
so you're saying
Oh, I know what she's doing. She's separating it. She's doing
Separating.
you're saying
she,
group 2 over here?
no. She's reusing. She's calling process 2 again separately and doing for that separate section again.
You understand?
Wait, I'm confused. I'm actually confused. Wait,
Okay, बता दूं तुझे ये.
Ramya, like, write it to the paper and send to the group.
नहीं, उसने process 2 रिपीट किया, फिर से सेपरेट उसने क्रिएट किया process 2 एंड देन उसने ब्लॉक किया, रिलीज किया, उसमें रिलीज किया अकेले. like you have P0, P137, and P2.
Yeah.
She creates another P2 that only works for P4 and 5.
So basically, she's just saying P like this, basically.
Yeah,
And
exactly. She's separating all of them.
yeah,
Yes.
if it helps you guys, you could do that too. उसमें कोई मसला तो नहीं है.
But then you have to remove P2, and then because she's rewriting the code separately for P2 again. She has to combine it with the other code.
Well, you have to combine. If you wanna like, देखो, if you wanna divide and conquer, like, if you wanna split up and then do it.
Yeah, Lami, the thing, your code works, but then you have to remove the P2's name for it and then put it in the P2 one section, not two separate of P2's.
Okay.
You're supposed to then put it inside of this because this is
That
one
actually
graph.
her way is actually, yeah, it's smart that you can divide and conquer like that, but it's good, but then you will get confused a little.
Yeah, you'll get confused because if you divide and conquer, you also got to see the fact that there's some processes that are leading up to P2.
Okay. Got
You
it.
know, so you gotta, if something is leading up to P2, like over here, you gotta if something is leading up to P2, you know that there's a P before the EC.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
so
Okay.
so like over here, we know that something's leading up to P2. There has to be a semaphore that's like that does P, which is this. Okay, yeah. So we do P group 1, and then we do the execution code, and then okay, let's not do this. Forget this. So I know what he was saying. So let's suppose we do P4, right? And then we do have a P5. Let's look at P4. Write the code for P4. Like where does it come from, or where is the execution code? Describe all of that.
P group 2.
P group 2, okay.
And then V group 2, then EC.
Why V group 2?
Oh, there is.
I'm asking you. It's right though.
Oh,
Baijan,
that's the code, no?
that was only if there was more processes. We only have process 4, so why do we need V group 2 in there?
The reason you need V group 2 is, let's suppose you do P2, right? And then you just do P. And if you don't have a V, it's always gonna stay blocked. It will never go to P5.
Yeah.
What?
देखो ना,
Oh,
देखो.
no, I understood it when we had it P4 and 5 together. That's why we had V in there so they can run simultaneously. But now that we have it separately, I wasn't sure if we needed the
The
V
reason
here.
we have it separately is because P5
Needs,
first part is the same, but after EC is different. So that's why we have it separately.
Okay, so you're saying that because P group 2 is gonna run, that P5 would not be able to run because it turns to 0.
Mm.
Okay, समझ गया. अच्छा, समझ गया.
Well, what you stuck on?
No, I didn't put the V group 2 in there.
The reason you need to put a V group 2 is, let's suppose we know that V goes over here. I was gonna put this after, but let's suppose we just put over here. Right? ठीक है ना?
Yeah, मुझे पता था, लेकिन after that, I
We have
understand that because we could 4 and 5 could run together.
we have a V for P4 and P5, right? So let's suppose we do P2. No, we do P2, and then we do V group 2. ठीक है?
Yeah.
And then what happens to the semaphore? Semaphore becomes 0, 2,
True.
1.
and then we do P4, which is basically this. We do P4, okay?
Yeah.
And you're saying that, let's suppose we have a P and we do group 2. And then
Yeah.
semaphore becomes 1, 2, 0. And we don't have a V. Let's suppose we don't have this line. We don't have this line.
Well, process 5 is never gonna run.
Let's suppose we don't have this line, and we just go to EC. And when process 5 runs and does P group 2, let's suppose we're gonna have the same thing over here. And when process 5 run and we do P group 2, it's gonna get blocked, and it's gonna remain blocked. And the reason we don't have V after EC, somebody explain that. I need to know the answer. Why don't we have V after EC? because we have a V. Technically, we could put a V after EC too, you know?
Yes, I understood. You explained that earlier, why we have a V before EC, not after.
Yeah, why?
Should I say it?
Yes, you should say yeah.
Because it was not asked in the question that one has to run after the other. It can run simultaneously.
Yes. If we had a V after the EC, that means that when P4 is running, P5 cannot run. Technically, the arrow is gonna be like this, but the arrow is not like that. This is
Technically,
saying
then that becomes like a mutex or something.
yes. That becomes a mutex, or that becomes then it instead of this is what the graph becomes then.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, got it.
Yes,
And
so I can, yes.
okay. Do you get this part, the P4 one?
Yes.
So
So
let's
now
make
I see that P5 also needs to have a V, because in case P5 runs, P4 also needs to run.
so what does P5 need?
P5 EC, then V group.
EC, but what goes before EC?
Can I
Mm,
say it?
Huh?
Can I say it?
Yeah.
Let me say it.
Lamia, what goes before this?
uh,
Okay,
uh,
let me give you a hint. You
V,
see
V
you
group 2.
V or P?
P group 2.
Okay, P group 2. And does anything go before that? After that?
And then V group 2, no?
Good job.
Yes.
Good job.
And then V after EC, V group 3.
Good job. Very good job.
My God.
Ooh, mashallah,
Wow.
she's learning.
नजर ना लगे भाई.
Yeah, mashallah. We have a P group 3.
Okay.
We have a P group 3.
Mm-hmm.
And is P5 done?
Yeah.
I'm just
For
thinking.
now, अभी के लिए done है. दूसरा section जाओ now.
No, I'm saying P5. P5 is P5 done? P5.
Yeah, you can add a release in there for the P8 and 6.
Okay, yeah. P5 is done.
Yeah,
We're good with P5.
it's done for now, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hurry up and finish this. Okay. Now let's go with P6 and P8.
P6 and P.
This is the execution code. And how would you put the semaphore? So we said that group 3 is over here, right?
Yeah.
After P3 runs, then we do group 3. So how would you do P? Where would you put P and V for P8 and P6?
P group 3 and V group 3 before EC.
Very good job. Good job. You sure that's right? I just said good job. What the hell? Yeah. Okay, that's it.
Hey, एक second भाई. सही.
Because
hold
P6
on.
and P8, they're not leading to anything.
सही. नहीं, I thought you missed like P5.
So let me erase everything. I make it nice. Oh no.
Yeah, भाई, on to the next topic. सीख गए हम.
Okay. Yeah, we got
Just
it.
make dua she doesn't go crazy on this. Last time she went crazy on ours, bro.
Wow, भाई
Okay,
मैं I
make
was
sure.
looking.
Okay, one more thing. Make sure. You make sure you write this at the start. You write each of the semaphores at the start you have, and then you have mutex. You also put mutex at the start too. Binary mutex, whatever. Okay.
Can we do one with the counting?
Counting.
0 or counter is equal to 0. What do you
Counting. I think counting का उसने पूछा था मैं या नहीं?
I don't know. She likes binary a lot, but I'm scared for counting.
Let's go with the other topic. Honestly, वो
Okay,
लंबा
छोड़ो
लग
भाई,
रहा है।
इसको छोड़ो भाई, इसको आधा point आ जाएगा बस.
हाँ.
Next topic.
Next topic.
Yo, now that I look at his drive, it makes sense. इसमें बिल्कुल समझ नहीं आया. So many codes in there.
Oh, over here at the bottom.
No, in Ivan's drive, there's codes in there, right? It was like super long in the beginning. डर लग रहा था शुरू में.
Well, us, वो जैसे okay, forget it.
हाँ भाई, story बता.
Okay, now we'll do synchronization problem. I hate this, bro.
नहीं, कोई बात नहीं, मैं तेरी help करता हूँ.
Give me 1 second. Let me read it. I forgot.
Which one is synchronization? But मुझे topics नहीं पता.
Did you watch the videos I sent?
कौन सी वीडियो तूने सेंड की
didn't
भाई?
understand anything.
You didn't watch it? Or
बस
I did.
मुझे
I'm
कोई नहीं भेजा।
I understand a little bit, maybe.
okay.
क्या भेजा भाई तूने?
Oh my god, you didn't watch it. I'm gonna get so pissed at you.
Oh, you sent me
See,
nothing.
someone like that,
5% battery भाई।
Hmm?
Shit.
Yeah, I saw it. The one two Neso Academies. No,
वहाब
one Neso Academies video, one someone I forget. the name.
वहाब जल्दी जल्दी पेन भी चार्ज करो और बाद फिर जब when you're not talking just charge your pen, you know?
that's what I'm doing.
अच्छा।
See, someone like graphs ki.
हाँ?
No.
Hmm?
Yo, what videos you guys talking about?
They showed a long code for the read and write thing.
Yes. Give me 1 second. Let me just give me 1 second. Let me just go over the thing myself. Then I'll go over this. Give me like I'm capping. Give me like 4-5 minutes.
अच्छा पेन चार्ज करो सर, don't forget.
Acha, a buffer with size n is allocated to the pair of processes for information exchange. Okay? The system is charged with preventing the overlap of a buffer operation. Considering the above description of producer consumer problem, consider a system with two different types of threads: a producer of information and consider user. Ah.
Is it clicking?
Yes.
Yo, I don't know this at all, bro. What the heck is this?
If the buffer becomes full, the producer must wait. Okay. If the buffer becomes empty, the consumer must wait. Okay, that's good. Producer and consumer can access the same buffer location at the same time. Ooh, I like that. Implementing issues if the buffer becomes full, the producer must wait. Producer needs empty location, counting semaphore empty, counting semaphore full. Okay.
Spotify.
Well, literally, this exam is easy and hard. The reason it's easy is because she gives you all the questions before the exam.
कब दिए भाई?
तुम लोग क्लास में जाओगे तो देगे ना. मैं क्या बोलूं? Like she literally said, this is the question. This is what's gonna come on the exam. These 5 questions, 3 questions, and then same for a reader writer. She's वो कराती class. So I still remember she made us do the questions, and the exam same thing, exact same thing comes. But the issue is understanding the question.
ये शुरू में समझ नहीं आता क्वेश्चन क्या पूछ रहे हैं।
Okay,
And
let's.
in the morning, she like it's very early in the morning, our class, right?
Yeah.
She talks super slow, bro. She was like, I was
She
like,
didn't
what?
drink coffee.
I'm not even joking, because I used to come home and look at the online videos, right? Even 2x seems slow.
Come on, bro.
But I'm not joking, bro. Even 2x used to seem slow.
Her voice makes me sleepy when I am at class.
Yo,
So,
guys, stop talking about my teacher like that.
bro, she's also our teacher, but I'm not
But
disrespecting her. It's
don't
just the way she talks.
don't you guys look at the online videos or no? Online lectures.
नहीं कुछ नहीं देखते हैं हम भाई।
No, I didn't watch online. The only 2 videos I watched that you
We used to look at the online one. It used to make sense.
No, you guys are smart, not like us.
But even Taram used to watch, okay?
Yeah, Taram is smart if he wants to be.
Let me give me one second. Produce data and consume data. How do you explain this? That's the thing.
I don't know.
Wait, Dami, you don't go to class?
No, I don't.
Really? I'm surprised. You look like a nerd to me.
Excuse me? Are you repeating my word?
What?
Okay, don't talk.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, our teacher will get distracted.
Give me 1 second. Give me 2 more minutes. My
yes.
Apple Pen is charging.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I'm having to charge his pen.
And it needs energy, bro.
Bro, we should give him an Apple pen, bro. Like, let's all collect money, give him an Apple pen so he can
No.
teach us more.
No, bro, I need an iPad Pro so that I could teach you better.
The bigger one, the big ass one.
Yeah.
मेरे को मैं अपना tablet gift करता हूँ.
There's
Tell him
around
to come join right now because we're starting a new topic.
Sorry,
Join right now.
sorry, too late.
My Bob's gonna be so lost. I know.
Yeah, facts, bro. That guy studies so much, he's lost, more than lost, bro. I don't know.
Let me see. Let me pause.
I don't know, bro. I'm gonna be home in 20 minutes. Okay, cool. अच्छा, buffer.
Resume recording. Hi
वो
guys,
दू,
we're
वो
back.
दूसरी रिकॉर्डिंग लगा दे YouTube पे. 2 घंटे लगे, 4 घंटे लगेंगे उसमें.
वो और बाप को तो परसों जाकर देखेगा. I feel bad for him, bro. What the fudge?
उसको बोल तू तेरे घर आए वहां पर देख ले तेरे कंप्यूटर पे.
Acha. Synchronization issues, or you could say no. Better word for this is synchronization problems.
Synchronization problem. Okay.
Oh. Yeah. And synchronization problem. Synchronization. There's three main. There's three different problems, or you could say three different scenarios that she teaches. One is the producer-consumer problem. But I did this in Swalanka's class, and shit made no sense.
I can't believe तूने फेल किया क्लास कभी जिंदगी में.
मैंने fail नहीं की थी उसी class.
ड्रॉप कर दी जो भी था.
मैंने drop कर दी थी because I was taking 4 other CS classes.
वो other
Yeah.
इतनी जल्दी क्या दी भाई.
बस. There's three different type of problem, right? Producer-consumer. क्या चीज? क्या लिखा है इसमें बता. Oh my god, I took so many notes. What the hell? But CBA तो मैं sell कर सकता notes.
बनाओ भी कैसे. What's the problem. पैसे बना, life enjoy कर.
Bro, I can sell my notes.
Nobody wants your notes, bro. It's shit.
But you guys are lucky you don't have the dining philosopher.
Oh yeah, they were saying she didn't go over that.
That's like the toughest one. So there's three different, not just three different, but three types of problems that she teaches. Dining philosopher.
एक को तो हटा.
But
so
since she does not teach dining philosopher, we're not gonna go over this.
okay.
Okay, we're just gonna go over producer consumer and reader writer.
Okay.
So now let's go over what is producer consumer. Let's suppose there's a buffer. You can either call it buffer, you can call it database, or you can call it anything, but we're gonna call it buffer. Let's suppose there's a buffer. Buffer is where the information is being saved. Okay. Let's suppose there's a buffer. Or you can also say database if you want, if it's easy for you. But I don't want to say database because database, we're gonna say that for reader writer problem. So let's just say buffer. We have a buffer, and buffer has a size of 5. Buffer has a size of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, buffer has a size of 5, and then we have two different. Let's suppose two different processes. One is called producer process, and one is called consumer. Or in other words, you could say we have two different people. One person, two different people. One person produces data into this, and one person consumes data from this.
सही है भाई.
ठीक है?
सही है.
One person consumes data from this.
Mm-hmm.
The classical producer-consumer problem is made in a way that producer needs to know that is the information over here, and then consumer needs to know that from which slot it needs to consume the data from, and then how to synchronize both of them in a way that it does not cause issues. Okay.
सही.
Okay.
So the responsibility of the producer is, let me go over this. Let's suppose the buffer becomes full. ठीक है?
Mhm.
Let's suppose the buffer becomes full. So let's suppose we'll call 3, 6, 7, 2, 8. ठीक है? It becomes full. When the buffer becomes full, the producer should know that this is full and it cannot produce more information.
So
Okay.
I have to go to sleep.
Not sleep, but like it knows that it's full. वो कुछ कर नहीं सकता. And when it's full, it's gonna get blocked. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And the consumer, but give me 1 second. The consumer का क्या था? Yeah, that's one scenario. And then the second scenario is when this is empty.
Mm-hmm.
When this is empty, consumer cannot consume information or receive information. And when it cannot receive information, it gets what?
Blocked.
Blocked. It gets blocked. There's few things you need to know. It's easy, but the question is honestly, the question is easy. There's like few things you just need to know for this in order for this to solve. Whenever the producer produces information or adds information to the buffer, it
Mhm.
adds information from the top.
Okay.
Okay, let's suppose this is called the location of this is 0, location is 1, like an array 1, 2, 3, and 4. ठीक है ना? Whenever the producer produces information, it starts from the start. So let's suppose the CPU starts running and producer starts producing information. Where would it store the first information?
In the 0 box.
Give me a random number. What would you produce?
3.
Oh,
3. ठीक है? And then let's suppose producer produces information again. Where would it produce to? 1, right? What would it produce? Give me random data.
77.
No, from 0 to 10.
Oh, 7.
Okay. I feel bad for you, bro. Okay, let's do 77. I feel bad now. Okay, let's suppose it produces data again. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
where would it produce to?
2.
Kaha?
2 पे.
2.
Do par. What does it produce?
Apple.
Huh?
Purple.
2. Oh, just numbers. Just do numbers. Okay, it does
Just
produce. And let's suppose from here on out, consumer starts to consume information. Okay, you also need to see the fact is that producer first produced over here, the producer pointer is over here. Then producer produces over here, producer pointers is over here. Then producer produces over here, so it's over here. So the next place it's gonna be producing information to, it's gonna be over here. So this is gonna be the pointer, the latest place where the pointer is placed at. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
सही है.
but trust me, I'm teaching you guys like kids.
सही है ना?
Even Nesto Academy, they don't teach like this, bro. Okay. Now let's suppose the consumer goes, okay?
Okay.
Consumer goes. And consumer, just like the producer, consumer also starts from the top.
Okay.
Consumer starts learning. Where would it consume information from?
From 0. It will
What
come from 3.
what would it consume?
3.
3.
3.
Yeah.
It's gone. And then where would the pointer be for consumer now?
2. 1.
1. So let's suppose consumer goes again. It runs again. What information and where would it consume from?
2 and 77.
77, right?
177. 177.
177, yeah. And then it consumes this, and once it consumes, it basically removes it from the buffer. ठीक है? And what's the next spot it's gonna consume from?
2.
2.
2. Okay. Let's not consume right now. ठीक है? Let's not consume. We just know that 2 is left in the buffer.
Okay.
Okay. But now let's suppose producer is back, and producer wants to produce more information. Where is it gonna produce to?
3.
3. Okay. Why not from the top? Why not over here?
Because the pointer of the producer is still in 3.
Yes. Good
And
job.
the buffer is not full.
Yes. Very good job. So we do 8, Hannah? And then pointer goes to this, right?
Yeah.
Now, yeah. Now let's suppose consumer goes again. Where is it gonna consume from?
From 3. I
From
mean,
2.
Two.
from 2.
Yeah. It's gonna consume this. It's gonna move this, and then it goes again. It consumes this and removes this. Fast forward, okay?
Mhm.
And let's suppose consumer goes again, and since pointer is over here, what's gonna happen?
It's blocked
Why is it blocked?
because the buffer is empty.
Good job. So buffer is empty, right? Buffer is empty. So it gets blocked. So this is blocked. And let's suppose producer, um, producer produces information. It produces 9 over here,
Mm-hmm.
and then it goes again. Where do you think producer will can produce information to?
To it will so for producer it's full now.
No, producer. Basically, producer
It
is
will go
at the
back
bottom.
up to the top.
It will go back
0.
up to the top.
Okay.
So its next
0.
thing is gonna be it's gonna produce over here. It could produce 3 and then 4. This is a producer consumer problem. One
Okay.
is producing, one is consuming. One is producing, one is consuming.
समझ गए?
Someone like, this is what the problem is, and then technically she will give the code, but we'll look at the code and first we'll understand the code, and then what she wants us to do, she's gonna give us the code, but we need to shift stuff. We need to move things up and down. And she's like, if we move things up and down, what effect is it gonna have on the producer consumer problem? That's what the whole thing is.
She's gonna say if you remove the database or the mutex, switch them around like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, if you like move mutex over here, or if you move full over here or
Oh,
something
the
like
in
that.
out something like that she was talking about.
Yes. But do you get the basics, right? हंसी समझ लगी है? तूने तो पिछली दफा किया भी था ये, नहीं? Okay. Now we'll look at the code, okay?
समझ गया.
Let's start from the start.
In for producer, out for consumer, in equal out. Okay.
And I'm gonna go over the code in detail so that it's like not easier to know and understand and blah, blah.
Wait, she's gonna give us code, the whole entire code. Explain करना है ना sir?
She gives us the code, yeah.
Okay, you're gonna just explain it.
Once you
Okay.
get the hang of it, it becomes easy, honestly.
Inshallah.
Okay. Let's suppose she gave us the code. See, someone agree, yeah?
Yes.
Hmm.
Hasiba.
Okay.
Hasiba. Where's our bar, man? What the heck?
Bachara.
Yo, I had some guests come in at like 7:50 or 7:45. I was like, oh shit, I can't cancel on Abdul Wahab. I was so fresh.
They still here?
I just came up and closed the door.
Because
Good.
you did the last thing last time, bro.
Say that again?
You did the same thing last time.
I know, yeah. I mean, yeah, why did this shit happen? Was something coming up, bro? I was literally in Target. I'm like, oh shit, वो कह रहे मगरिब का वार करना है. I'm like, yo, shit, gotta run home.
You're not funny.
Yeah, so sad. डर लग रहा है यार that you won't even do it at all, and then recording भी नहीं मिलेगी, कुछ भी नहीं मिलेगा. Alright, come on, what code are you writing?
I'm
What?
writing the. Oh, where is the shit, bro?
Reduce data p mutex n equal n plus 1 mod size.
Wait,
Size क्या?
what the hell? What just happened?
गायब हो गया भाई.
So guy किस wrong गया?
क्या गायब हो गया? Redo करो, redo.
Oh my god.
वो
Gone.
पिक्चर ही कॉपी कर लो उसकी.
हाँ?
पिक्चर वो कोड की कॉपी करो, यहाँ पर पेस्ट कर दो, क्रॉप कर दो वहाँ पर.
कहाँ पर है?
वो बाइबल में जो है.
हम ना वो नहीं मैं बात कर. No, लिखना ज़्यादा मजा आता है. Okay,
हाँ,
लिख सकते हो.
nice. It's up to you.
It's trust me, it's better like this. Trust me.
It
I wish.
takes
Imagine we did this in school on whiteboard.
Yeah, but you don't have that much time, you know. You're a busy guy.
Bro, you come only on Mondays, Wednesdays. Okay, shut up.
I come to Tuesdays as well if I have an exam on Wednesday.
Do you?
our
Yeah,
exam
but
is Tuesday.
3:16 I had to do that shit.
Our exam is on Tuesday, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I can't come on Sunday.
Omar, is your exam on Monday?
Ji baji.
Okay. Take a picture and send it to us.
I'm not that Ram. I can't take out my phone.
So,
I say baji in Bengali. Sister. I say sister.
Bon.
What?
What?
Bone? I've never heard that before.
Do you call Baji or Api?
Baji.
Api, we also said Api. I said Api to my sister.
I say baji. You say baji. Api. Api no.
Or you can say Apu.
Apu? Oh, I heard Apu before. I heard Apu before. But you said bone? I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
That seems like some Chinese name, bro.
Oh my bone? Literally a piece of bone?
Yeah. Piece of bone.
P-mutex. Shit, I forgot something.
Oh, I have a class tomorrow.
Why are you learning Bangla?
আমি एक लड़की छे उसी আমি ভালোবাসি something.
Yeah, got you, bro. That's why you're learning Bangla?
जी.
I can teach you.
You tell me, teach me something.
Not today, it's 3:40 time.
3:40. I don't come to your class.
Ask me in different time. I'll teach you. Don't worry.
Okay, just don't be mean to me, okay?
Bengali girl will be impressed.
What are you gonna teach me? Say it right now.
Everything.
Really? Everything? Like what? Like I only know Mitumiko Balabashi. That's it. That's all she needs to hear. That's all she needs to hear from me.
Only you just learn আমি ভালোবাসি, that's it?
Yeah, that's why I joined the BSA for.
Did you?
Yeah, I went to them, man. They were dancing around. I started joining them.
They're like, I yet to make
You said আমি তোমাকে ভালোবাসি?
I told them and they let me in.
Oh goodness.
Okay, let's start.
What does this mean?
Yeah, I love them all.
No.
Okay, stop distracting me.
Okay, let's start.
Okay, consumer, producer. What the heck, bro? Your code looks ugly, bro. I can't read it, bro.
Shut up, you don't need to look.
To produce data.
It's not organized, bro.
Shut up.
Mm.
Okay. We're gonna have 5 variables at the start. Okay, na? 6
Yeah,
only.
yeah.
We're gonna have
6.
6 variables at the start. Okay.
6 variable. What the heck? 6.
The first variable is size.
किस चीज का size?
My size, okay?
You mean the buffer size?
First is size, which also is n. What is the size of the buffer?
5.
Wrong. It's 10.
Eh?
Where is 10? I don't see 10 in
10 divided by 2, happy? Whatever
Happy,
I say, he has to make it opposite, of course.
Okay, so first is 5. Second, we'll keep mutex. You can get mutex, you know, we have a love-and-hate relationship with it.
I love mutex.
Binary semaphore mutex.
Mutex हो गया, एक empty हो गया, और एक fill हो गया.
And then one we're gonna have a counting semaphore. Counting.
This is all given, right?
This is given. This is given. But I'm just asking you, if you were making the code, what would you put? Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Actually not asking you.
पूछ भाई पूछ.
Sabar ek second yaar.
Counting variables full, meaning buffer में कितने चीजें हैं? 1 2 3 4 5. 5 मतलब full. इसलिए full. It's counting. Okay.
I'm super sleepy.
I know.
Why?
I have a class tomorrow and I have a presentation tomorrow.
Oh, I wake up at 5:30.
Every day?
Yeah, for Fajr and then cannot sleep.
Seriously?
No,
MashaAllah.
you go back to sleep, right?
No, I had work today. And if I have class, I don't.
Wait, what was that thing you're doing? Working AI.
Yo, बाद में. Let's finish this then. Let me
So
finish. Okay.
this is
Okay. Counting summer for full. How many are full at the start?
0.
So we'll do 0. Counting summer for empty. How many are empty at the start?
Huh? I
Huh?
don't understand.
Empty? Full? 0, empty, 0, empty, 5 empty.
5 empty. ठीक है?
अच्छा opposite कर रहे हैं. अच्छा ये
Opposite. I'm gonna do opposite. Okay.
How
And then
अच्छा
there's
वहाँ पर
two.
लिखा हुआ है size. They do size, so just put size.
It's the same thing. Same thing. 5 size 5 and जो भी है. ठीक है ना? And then we have two other variables. One is int in and one is int out. What do you think in and out is for?
int
Pointers, I guess.
producer and int out for consumer.
Yes.
Good job. Oh my God. In for producer, out for consumer.
In and out is basically the pointer, you know?
Pointer. Yes, I was
Acha,
right.
we'll go over the code and then we'll see what the code is saying and then we'll approach the question. And let me all be done by 12, inshallah. We good?
Yes.
वही भाई वो स्टोरी वाली क्वेश्चन तक हम गए ही नहीं.
Oh,
Story वाले question बाद में करेंगे, कल कर लेंगे.
I can stay up. I have to.
But I'm out of energy, bro.
We will go with your energy. Whenever you're feeling like you want to sleep, you're good.
I'm out of energy at the moment.
तू
ठीक है?
सही है कोई बात
वो
नहीं.
देखो, it's better if we do, देखो, we did 2 today, 2 maybe
Yeah,
tomorrow, है ना?
we're gonna forget if you do too much.
You're gonna forget if you do too much. ठीक है?
Okay.
Okay. The way she's gonna approach is, इसके normally questions क्या होंगे? She's gonna be like, oh, what if I move empty after mutex, or what if I move mutex before produce data? What effect is gonna have? तो हमने उसका बताना है कि what effect it has. But before we describe what effect it has, let's understand what the code is saying. Okay,
सही है.
that's good. Happy? Okay. The first thing is, let's suppose we do producer first. है ना? The first is like this guy is like, let me start off with producing a data. Okay.
Okay.
And then it produces first. Give me a random number.
6.
Huh? 6?
जी.
Okay. So first we produce any data number, which is, let's suppose x equal to 6. ठीक है? I'm just saying x, you don't have to say x. I'm just saying x. So ठीक है?
Okay.
Or you call also data because there's data over here. No, let's do data, honestly. Data equals to 6. Good. So first thing we do is x. Next thing is we see p equal to empty. We know empty starts off with 5. The reason we have a p over here is to check how many buffers are currently available.
Makes sense. Because
Okay.
4.
So over here it's we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So we do p on an empty, because thing is technically when all of them are full, right? And we try to do p empty, it's gonna get blocked, like I said before. So it won't be able to add in data. And the only way it's able to add in data when there's a v empty, you know?
Okay.
Okay. Now do you get why we have a p empty?
Yes.
We have a p empty to check if it's if the buffer is available or not, or I mean if the empty buffer slots.
Okay.
So we do p empty. It starts off with 5, right? What's gonna happen? What happens to 5?
Becomes 4.
5 becomes 4. And then we do mutex and vmutex. Okay, then we do end statement. And just to let you know, जब भी हम करते हैं ना, like whenever we have a plus plus minus minus in any question, we always have a mutex, you know?
Mutex 1 से शुरू नहीं होता.
No, I told you mutex always starts. Yeah, mutex starts from 1. My fault. I'm sorry.
माफी नहीं मिलेगी.
Okay, Bujan. Okay. Mutex starts from 1. 1 becomes 0. And the reason we do this, it's because let's suppose another producer starts running at the no. Let's suppose if consumer is running, it does not go into the out statement. You know, it gets blocked because we want only producer. We basically want when producer is trying to produce over here, consumer cannot consume. It gets blocked basically. हम ये कहना चाह रहे हैं ना कि technically you cannot produce and consume at the same time. That's why we have a mutex around out or an in. ठीक है ना? That makes sense?
Okay, what exactly is in doing?
Okay, now let's see what in is doing. We know in starts off with 0. ठीक है?
See?
In starts off with 0. So in plus 1. In plus 1, what is in plus 1?
1.
No.
1. 1 module by 5 is equal to
1.
1. So n is basically telling us what the pointer is.
Pointer is.
Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Okay.
कहाँ पर data डालना है?
कहाँ पे data डालना है? And the reason we have a mod is that once it reaches the 5th position, it can start again.
Okay.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense.
That makes sense or no? Namia,
Yeah.
Hasib, Saima? That's why we have a mod.
Wahab, can you explain again the PMT?
PMT?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
one five.
Yeah, I'll explain again. Yeah. So once you produce data, data could be anything. You could be 6, 7. You could also put Umar inside. Throw them inside, okay? It produces data, and it produces data for like so that we could use it afterwards, okay? And the next thing after producing this data is to check if there are empty slots. ठीक है ना? Right now, the buffer is empty, and when it's empty, we know that empty starts off with 5 because we said that before. This is how it's this is what's given at the start. ठीक है? It does p-empty, and then 5 becomes 4. When 5 becomes 4, it says that 1 slot is going to get used, and there are 4 empty slots left. ठीक है? And there are 4 empty slots left. And the reason we have p-empty is, let's suppose all of them are filled, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then technically when all of them are full, empty is going to be 0. And then let's suppose producer goes again and tries to produce information inside of the buffer. What's going to happen is that 0 becomes -1, and it's going to get blocked. Tell me why it gets blocked. Saima.
Because nothing is there.
Because there's no more space to put information.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it gets blocked. And the only way it could get unblocked or it could start producing more information is when we start we start consuming information. आहिस्ता ठीक है? That's why we have a PMT. PMT in simple words checks if there's empty buffer slots or not.
ठीक है.
ठीक है?
Mm-hmm.
And over you gotta see where if it's doing P over here, for empty, it's doing V over here. And over here, it says that after consumer is done, it has V empty over here because it just says that, oh, when it consumes information, when it removes this, it just shows that, oh, we have one more empty slot. So this becomes 2 and then 3 like that for this part.
Okay.
That makes sense, no?
Yeah.
Okay. So after this is done, after PMT is done, we do in, and you get why we have a mutex, right?
Yeah.
Do you get, because mutex, we don't want producer and consumer to access in and out at the same time. ठीक है ना? And then when we have an in basically points to the next pointer. So let's suppose pointer at the start is 0, like it's pointing to nothing, but then it's gonna point. Give me 1 second. Let me erase everything. It's too dirty. And let's suppose it doesn't start from 0. Let's suppose this doesn't start from 0. This starts from. Hanji.
Where did you declare data and like we're assigning buff in to be equal to data?
Data, I'm just saying data equals to 6.
So वहाँ कोड में कहीं declare नहीं हुआ?
Declare जरूरी नहीं है declare करना.
Not even on top.
No, you don't need to declare.
Okay.
You don't need to declare. It's if you want, you could declare, but technically, the main thing is knowing what the semaphores are and then in and outs. Okay? Or you could just be like, you could just put over here data equals to produce data. Okay?
Say.
But that's not going into that. Those वो वाली चीजें ना इस तरह की, that's like just extra stuff that you don't need to stress about.
Okay.
So let me go over this again. I think we all are confused now.
कौन confused भाई?
You are confused.
नहीं,
What is
मैंने-
n now? What is n?
N?
N.
Oh,
What is
N.
n?
Oh, that's the pointer.
Pointer. I mean, like, but what's n now after this?
After this? Oh, after you do the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, so N is 0, so 1 mod 5 is equal to 1.
Yes.
So you put data in the first slot.
So n is basically pointing to the first slot. ठीक है? Hello, are you guys confused?
ठीक है, ठीक है.
Bro, I need response. Bro, I need response.
I
That's why.
stay quiet because I want them to be active and then कोई जवाब नहीं देता.
असीब भी नहीं जवाब दे रहा. I need response, bro.
I can respond over and over, but then I don't want them to get upset that I talk too much.
तू क्या लिख रहा है? मैं
Is-
पूछ रहा हूँ, do you get what n is?
Yes.
And like what the information? अच्छा. When n is done, we release the mutex, and then we just basically say in the buffer in position n, which is 1, add this data. So it adds 6 over here. That makes sense?
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
And let's suppose it does this, it does this. Let's suppose producer ran one time. ठीक है?
Mhm.
Producer one time. Let's suppose producer runs again.
Mhm.
Let's do this again. Give me a random data.
पहला data क्या था?
Para 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Who's that, bro?
Hasib.
That's his voice? Okay, it's 1.
You want to do 1?
Yeah.
Okay. So data now, we produce the random data, which is 1. What
Mhm.
is P of empty now?
3.
4.
What becomes 3?
4 becomes 3.
Naseeb is wrong. भाई Naseeb सो रहा है भैया क्या कर रहा है भाई?
4 becomes 3. What does this mean though?
3 और जगह बाकी है slots.
3 जगह खाली रह गई हैं.
बाकी है.
ठीक है ना? And then we know okay, let's not go over mutex. Mutex for now is stupid.
Yeah, just ignore it. It is literally just prevents data coherence for
Yeah.
now.
For what's n now?
So
2.
n becomes 2 times mod 5. I mean 2 mod 5, which is
2. Yeah, this becomes 2, and then 2, and where is n now? N is now over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys see the buffer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
N is down over here and move to the next slot.
Mm-hmm.
And then it produces information and it adds 1 over here. Okay? That's good?
Yes.
And then it could repeat again, or it could do consumer now. You could switch to consumer, or it could repeat again. Let's suppose all 5 are filled. 5, 6, 7. Okay? Let's suppose all 5 are filled.
Yeah.
I just want to know the information. After all 5 are filled, what would be empty?
I can tell you it will be empty.
Let me ask Simon Nasib.
Hold on, which one can you repeat?
Let's suppose all 5 are filled, all 5 buffer are filled, है ना? What would empty be?
Empty would be 0.
Yes. What would n be?
N would be 5.
N would be 5?
It would be
Isn't it would be
0.
0?
5, yes.
No, it's not gonna be 0.
0.
हाँ?
समझ नहीं आया भाई.
देखो,
N would be
5 में फिर कैसा data? When will they put data
One,
into 5? If
2,
we do
नहीं देखो, अगर
would be
अच्छा
0.
4
यार मुझे
पे
बोलने देना. चुप.
अब मैं बोल रहा हूँ तो बोलने नहीं दे.
नहीं, जो गलत है ना वो इसलिए कह रहा हूँ. The thing I said before that it points to the next slot, that's kind of wrong. It basically points to the current slot. Hello?
Which one?
So, give me 1 second.
5
So
becomes
you say how for second one it was pointing to this, right? So technically after all 5 are filled, n currently is over here. N is 5. ठीक है ना?
Yeah.
I'm not saying on the 5th producer. I'm just saying on the 5th production, what is the value of n? I'm not saying on the 6th. I'm saying on the 5th one.
Oh,
Value of n
Like
is
let's suppose 3 is done, 4 is done, 5. What is gonna be the value of n on the 5th one? It's gonna be 5, right?
5.
yeah.
And then do you get that? Let's suppose producer goes again. Let's
Wait,
suppose
question, भाई जब
जी,
data in 5 हो गया ना, तो where do you place that data?
and
Because
5.
4 plus 1 becomes 5. 5 mod 5 gives you what? 0? 1? What does it give? 0, right? Yeah,
N
wait,
plus
sorry.
1, 0 plus 1, 1 mod 5, 2 mod 5, 3 mod 5, 5 mod 5. But you get the point though. Jobia, you get the point. There's some kind of wrong something with the code, I guess. But you get the point.
0 to 4 तक जाता है, वो 5 तक नहीं जाता for some reason.
But you get the point though. ठीक है
हाँ,
ना?
yes.
This you just got that stress you don't just stress too much about this, but you get the point basically.
समझ गया, 5 full हो गया, अब 6
5.
0 तक जाएगा, हाँ 1 तक
Let's say
आएगा.
producer is on the 6th. Because you're technically right though. But yeah, producer is on the 6th. ठीक है ना? Like not 6, but it's producing for the 6th time.
Yes.
ठीक है? Let me erase this. Erase.
अब ब्लॉक हो जाएगा, empty मतलब 0 हो जाएगा, अब ब्लॉक हो जाएगा.
Give me 1 second. It produces for the 6th time, right? Give me a random number. 9.
9.
Oh, we thought the same thing. 9. What would happen over here?
It would block.
It would block. ठीक है? This is blocked. So do you think the rest is gonna run? Is it gonna
No.
run or not?
No.
No. When will the rest run?
Until
What
consumer eats something.
Catches when
consume receive something.
when
Yes.
consumer consumes basically. When
Yeah.
one of them becomes empty, that's when it consume. But in the meantime,
Blocked.
sixth producer is blocked.
Yes.
Sixth producer is blocked. And then after 5 are done, let's suppose consumer is like, okay, मेरी बारी मैं खड़ा होता हूँ. Let me start. Consumer does it. Consumer starts consuming. We do P full. What is P full?
P4
वो पता नहीं क्या है, वो बता. अच्छा.
Checking if there is anything in the
P4 would be 4 now. Would it be?
and
No, shit, we forgot. हमने V full नहीं किया ना. V full happens 5 times, so this is 5.
जिसमें अभी 4 हो गया ना when you do P4.
Now it's 4. Now it's
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yes.
saying.
I forgot to do the last time. Do you guys get it? Let me ask
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Because देखो 1 2 3 4 5. This happens 5 times, so eventually it becomes 5. So what happens over here? 5 becomes 4. So this means that there's like 4 full.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yes.
4 full after it's done. So what would out be now? Forgot the retext. What would out be now?
Out कहाँ पर है भाई? अच्छा, out.
Um,
Out would be 1.
Out would point to 1. So right now, let me see 1 second. Give me 1 second.
0 plus 1.
Right now, n is over here, and then out is currently pointing to 1. Hannah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Out is pointing to 1. And then out is pointing to 1. And then data, it's saying that data is, what is data? What is data?
Data is 6.
Data is 6. And then it does V empty. What would this be?
0.
0 to?
No, -1 to 0.
Why -1 to 0?
हम -1 नहीं गए थे. Did we not go to -1?
Oh yeah, -1 to 0. Yeah. Seriously? Yeah.
That's the only way to block if it's less than 0.
Yeah. So -1 to 0. This goes to 0.
Consume. हो गया.
But let's suppose, okay, let me do this. Let's suppose 6 never ran. Let's suppose 6 never ran. Then would empty be?
एक सेकेंड. 6 never ran. 5 in है, सब full है. empty जो है 0 है. 0 से हो गया 1.
0 से 1 है ना?
हाँ.
0 से 1, which means that there's like 1 empty, and then it consumes. So once it consumes, it removes 6 from the first slot. That makes sense?
Yes.
And removes 1 from the 6th slot. And now if the 6th producer comes, it cannot produce to the first one.
Cannot produce to the what? It cannot produce what?
Now if another producer comes, right?
Yeah.
It can now produce.
Oh,
It's
it
not
cannot produce. Okay. It
because
cannot.
empty is 1 now.
I thought you said it cannot produce.
It can now. Can
Okay.
now produce.
Cannot produce. Yes.
Okay. Let's suppose
Yes.
consumer goes for the second time. And give me values. What is full now?
3.
Huh?
3.
3, yeah. And then what is out now?
2.
It's
Out
true.
is 2. So out is over here. And what is data?
What?
Data is 1. And what is empty?
2.
2.
2.
Empty is 2. And then next is basically consuming data. Okay, that makes sense?
Yes.
That's good. That's it. So अब बोला क्या होगा? Next time producer produces, it's just gonna produce over here, and then the whole code runs again. Do
समझ
you get
गए.
the code? Do you get the code?
एकदम समझ गए.
Bindas?
Bindas. I can rewrite the whole thing now.
Okay. Oh, I'm done, bro.
Gosh. Why are we blocking for full again? In the consumer first line?
Why are we blocking for the full again?
Yeah.
Okay, let's suppose at the start this was empty, है ना?
अच्छा, हाँ.
Let's suppose it's empty, and we start running consumer.
अच्छा, oh, it blocks until
Full
there's
is
something there.
full is 0 at the start, है ना?
Yeah.
Full is 0. Do you think 0 becomes what?
-1.
1.
So it gets blocked. Why it gets blocked? Because there's nothing in the buffer.
Mm.
Technically, one has to get blocked.
Makes sense. Okay, makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you.
Good thing you brought that up. Good job.
Thank you.
चल. अगला question बोला क्या है?
Great question. What happens if you switch PMT and P mutex in producer?
The question is, what
What?
will be the outcome if you switch P mutex and PMT?
Or producer.
So basically, they're saying, what would be the outcome if we swap these two?
हाँ, कुछ तो गड़बड़ है दया.
Danger.
Okay, so
So let's see. Let's analyze that. P is empty. PMT था 5. 5 से 4.
First of all, pre-meters and v-meters are helping us prevent data coherence, right? So if PMT comes inside pre-meters, there might be data coherence.
There might be what?
Data coherence.
सोचते हैं इसके बारे में.
And
Data coherence तो सिर्फ n के लिए था ना. हाँ, you're right maybe.
yeah, and if data coherence occurs for empty, right, there will never come a time where our bucket is completely empty.
तो फिर वही बकेट कहाँ से आ गया?
The bucket, I mean the what do
Buffer.
you call it? Buffer, yeah.
Okay, one hint I'll try to give you guys is you don't need to necessarily start with the buffer being empty. You can also start off with buffer being full.
Buffer being full. Okay, so buffer being full. So
अगर
if the
full
buffer is
हो,
full, empty is 0. And
buffer is full empty is 0. हाँ, सही है.
yes, so
Point क्या
other
है?
bhai. Don't look at the answer. You guys are looking at the answer is correct. If buffer is full, empty is 0, and we have 3 Newton 3 empty switch, right?
तेरी
So
आवाज सही नहीं आ रही भाई.
No, so the question is saying if you switch, like if you put P mutex before P empty, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
the 2 dots that he has over there. So
What's
if you
gonna
switch,
happen is before we check if it is empty or not, we put the pointer on the buffer. No?
before we check, we put the pointer what?
Because what is P mutex doing here? The pointer, right?
Yeah, yeah. Go on. Oh, you're saying we could put the same multiple data into the same spot. Are you saying that? No. Are you
Yeah,
saying that?
it's kind of, I'm kind of saying the similar thing.
Are you saying that? Let me see. How would that work? Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know. Wait, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't think at all. I don't know. Let me just look at the answer. Deadlock in the case empty is negative.
oi
So
oi oi.
Hold on.
Not listening.
Before
The
checking.
answer was there.
Okay, I gave up.
No. I think I'm. Just give me 1
ये
minute.
मैंने आंसर पढ़ा डेडलॉक उसका क्या मतलब है? I don't know what that means.
अबे just give me 1 minute.
But why are you guys looking at the answer?
No,
हाँ
I'm
भाई दूसरों को करने दे.
Why are you looking at the answer?
समझ नहीं आ रहा.
thinking
Map tata na to, it's
हाँ
gonna make you more
यार
confused, trust me.
समझ क्यों आ रहा है रुकना.
if you put mutex before PMT. So before checking if the buffer is full or not, pointing the thing, right? I don't know.
एक बार empty होगा.
I think it's time to reveal.
एक बार empty होगा फिर p mutex में जाएगा.
Okay, let me do this.
नहीं आ रहा मेरे को समझ. I give up.
Yeah.
Achha, let me do this.
Hasib,
तेरी
no.
माइक कितनी ट्रैश है भाई. Just mumbling bro.
I think I know the answer.
वो बता.
Connect right? वहाँ दे जरा. Okay,
तूने
let's say
answer देखा?
PMUTEX. नहीं मैंने नहीं देखा. मैं अभी बस कुछ तो कलर है. PMUTEX and PMT switch करते हैं, right? So I'm gonna do step by step. I'm gonna annotate, okay? First I go over here, right? Okay, and then I go over here. Now mutex is equal to 0. Okay. Now I switch to consume. Now
Okay.
I do pre-full. 5 becomes okay, pre-full, right? 0. क्या कर रहा है? So then I do pre-full and then I do pre-mutex again. तो फिर वो block हो जाएगा.
Okay. तो हाँ ऐसे कुछ मसला है. You're on the right path I think.
Yeah, but I don't have the photo picture.
So you have to. I guess we never get to v mutex somehow.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let me explain. Say Hasib was right, but I'll explain.
Yes, he was right. I caught on. Well, he's right, bro. Good job, bro.
Yeah. पैसे दो चलो.
I don't know how you figured that out, bro. भाई क्या शॉट किया मार दी भाई.
Or our boobs is here.
Is he?
Arbo! पिता आ गया हमारा
Assalamu alaikum.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम आपकी दीदार का इंतजार था
Bro,
Bro,
you came in the wrong time, Arbab. You're gonna be lost, bro.
really?
Yeah,
Yes.
Shit. Okay.
totally lost.
What have you guys done so far?
2 problems.
Oh my god.
Synchronous and something else.
Bro, I was telling my parents I didn't want to go today, but they just get Zabardasti humko bole de jaane
What?
ke.
You always go partying somewhere, bro.
Huh?
Did you find a wife?
I found a baddie, I'll tell you that. Wait, what?
That's
Stop.
good, bro. She wifey material, bro?
What?
I said if she's wifey material or not.
Okay, let me go. Shut up.
Okay.
ठीक है. Are you guys listening?
Yes.
Saima, Lamia?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's go the answer सुनना. Let's suppose we have a buffer, है ना?
Yeah.
Let's suppose we don't have a buffer. Okay, let's suppose we have a buffer over here. क्या है इसका मसला? What's going on?
Aseeb tang na karna yaar.
Look at this. Remove your leg.
Aseeb ko bol wo likh dega.
ना करना. Where is it?
What the heck? इधर आ रहा है भाई. Oh shit,
Hmm?
bro. What is this shit? Connect and disconnect.
Are you dumb? How's that gonna make sense? Okay, ठीक है. Let's suppose we have a buffer. We do have a buffer, honestly, with size 5. And let's suppose all of them are filled. 5, 7, 9, 3, and 4. ठीक है ना? Now all of them are filled. So which means full is 5 and empty is 0.
Yeah.
Empty is 0. So let's start off with producer. Producer produces data. Producer runs this. It could produce any data. Let's not stress about that. And the next line it runs is p mutex. ठीक है? Because why is p mutex? Why are we running p mutex? Because the question said that we're gonna switch p empty and p mutex, right? Hannah?
Yes.
Yeah.
The question was saying that let's suppose mutex was over here and empty was over here. So
Yeah.
next was mutex. So mutex becomes 1 to 0. When it becomes 1 to 0, what happens?
No other mutex can enter. I don't know.
When it becomes 1 to 0, what does it happen?
It blocks.
It blocks. No, it doesn't. Honestly,
I mean, it doesn't block the next one. I'm saying the consumer can enter it. कहना क्या चाह रहा है भाई? I mean, what happens? Nothing, bro. Why is it dead silent, bro? I don't like this. ये सब खामोश है भाई.
Yeah, it does not get blocked. ठीक है?
Doesn't
Happy?
get. Yes, सही है.
So next line, what's the next line?
Switch pre-empty.
P-empty. You could switch if you want. You could switch, but let's not switch for now. But you could also switch to. You could switch to consumer. But let's go to P-empty. Okay.
G.
P-empty does what happens to P-empty?
PMT क्या होता है? हाँ. So PMT
5 to 4.
0 है. What? -1 हो जाएगा?
0 to -1. So what happens? You see what it gets blocked.
G block हो गया.
Since it's blocked, do you think producer can now run?
Producer cannot run, but consumer can run now.
Lamia,
Yeah.
what just happened?
Oh shit.
Oh, I got so scared, bro. So yeah, for P empty over here, it gets blocked. We just agreed. So can the rest of the lines run?
No.
No. So basically it's blocked.
Wait,
What?
why can't the rest of the line runs?
Because it's -1 now.
Okay. Oh, it gets blocked. Okay. Okay, it
It
needs to
gets
get released. Again, it needs to get released.
where does it get released? Where does
In
it
the
get released over
consumer
here?
VMT.
Consumer
It gets released over here.
yeah.
Hannah?
Yeah.
Now we need to somehow reach to this point to get it unblocked so that she can start talking to me. Oh,
Oh, she.
who's she? I don't know. And then now we move to consumer.
That was so smooth, like that was natural. भाई तेरे मन में क्या चल रहा है?
Okay. So we now we move to now we move to consumer P equal to 4. What's the value?
4.
Mm.
5 out of 4. 5 minus 1.
5 becomes 4. What's next? What's the next thing that's gonna
Mutex
happen?
gets blocked.
P mutex. What happens to mutex?
Becomes -1.
Mutex becomes to 0 to 0 because
Yeah, sorry, it's a
mutex
binary.
it's a
Binary.
binary. So what happens to this?
It blocks. Deadlock.
So that's a
Deadlock.
deadlock.
But
So
how did you know you have to start with the full? I don't know how that would
you
be.
have to think about that. You gotta make that shit up.
अच्छा
How do
इसने
you know you have to start with the full? Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
he's
not
saying, how do you know you have to start with a full buffer? That you have to think about it. Because the question is, she's not saying what will the outcome be. She's saying even if there's like 1,000 different scenarios, think of a scenario in which there could be an issue.
Okay. Okay. I think I know the answer. Man, हम start करें producer से.
No, यही answer है ना.
No. I'm gonna give him the like the reason. Man, we're starting from producer, right?
एक second, just give me 1 second.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you guys, Saima Lamia, do you guys get this or no?
Oh yes,
Lamia.
but I don't get the mutex part.
Yeah, I'll that's the thing. I'll explain once again. Lamia, do you get this?
Yeah.
ठीक है.
I got
You
Wait,
get
we'll
this?
have a question.
Mhm.
Let's suppose that we just run it normally as well without switching it. Is it possible to make the mutex stuck as well again?
Let's try to run this normally. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna try running this normally, and let's see if it gets stuck. ठीक है
Okay.
ना? Let's suppose let's suppose it was never switched and everything
yeah.
was full. Let's suppose
Go
it was
on.
never switched and everything was full.
Yeah.
Produce data.
Yeah.
ठीक है ना? Produces data, whatever that shit is.
Yeah.
And next thing is P of empty.
PMT.
What is that?
PMT शुरू में क्या होना चाहिए?
0.
0.
0 था ना?
सर नहीं full था. सारे empty थे 5 था.
What?
It's up to
Oh,
you.
for the last one. Oh, you're going for the last one.
No,
Okay.
I'm using it for this scenario when the
Oh,
buffer is
okay.
full.
Okay, go on.
What is
0 -1.
0 becomes -1. So it first
Nah.
produces data and then it does P equal to empty and 0 becomes -1 when the buffer is full. So this gets what?
-1 blocked.
Blocked. How does it get unblocked? I just said the answer before, but let me ask you guys again. How does it get unblocked?
When the consumer consumes
V
some.
empty.
V empty.
Yeah.
When it reaches this point, that's where it gets unblocked. Now we need to reach to that point in a way that consumer never gets unblocked. Okay?
Consumer never gets.
देखो, unlike Umar, you gotta see the fact thing is over here, mutex was changed to 0, but यहाँ पर तो mutex we never changed.
हाँ सही बात है. हाँ mutex तक नहीं पहुंचे. Okay, I'll give you another scenario where full is 4 and empty is 1.
It's nothing's gonna happen. This issue only happens when the buffer is full. Hello?
अच्छा समझ गया. I was trying to create that mutex issue again, you know.
Okay, but let me go over the consumer. You do P4. You do P4. Does it get blocked? 5 goes to 4. No, it does not get blocked. It does after that. It does mutex. It does mutex. Does it get blocked? No. 1 goes to 0. No, it does not get blocked. It does out statement, everything, and then it's able to reach empty. But in this case, it wasn't able to reach empty because we switched the mutex. Okay, one more thing you gotta see. For this specific question,
तुझे specific नहीं बोला जा सकता भाई, specific बोलता है तू.
for this specific question, this issue happens. A deadlock only comes when buffer is full. Okay, and Lamia was just asking. She wants me to explain this again because she's kind of confused on the mutex, right?
Yeah. No.
Okay, who said they need help?
Me.
Arbo.
Okay,
Ami
mutex.
Ami
me.
bolsi Ami.
Ami
You will
बोल से.
let me explain once again. Okay,
Arbo.
let's suppose the buffer is full. Okay. No, let's first see what the question is. The question is, what will be the outcome if you switch p mutex and p empty? Normally, this is the code, na? P empty. But professor is like, what if I switch p mutex over here and p empty down? So mutex over here, empty over here. What would happen if we do something like this, right? If we do something like that. So in such a case, let's suppose we do that. We first start off with producer. Producer produces a data. Let's suppose it produces anything, X. And we move to the next statement, P of mutex. What was mutex at the start? What was mutex at the start?
1.
Whatever. Oh, I didn't say over here. Okay, mutex, I didn't say over here. Mutex was 1 at the start. What is mutex at the start?
1.
Let's Saima do it. Dumb.
Oh shit, my bad.
What's
Good.
Saima?
Yeah, mutex started the 1.
Starts with 1. So if we do P on a mutex, what's gonna happen with the 1?
1 goes to 0.
Yes.
That you write it? Okay.
1 goes to 0.
Mm-hmm.
Does it get blocked?
Nah.
No. Good. So next, let's go to the next line, which is P of empty. Okay, P of empty. And then what is empty right now?
0.
0. If we do P on a 0, what happens?
0
See?
decreased.
Sorry, अब नहीं बोलता.
-1.
-1.
Wahab, you should put counting with a C there, so we know it's a counting, goes to -1.
C, B.
G.
ठीक है?
Mm-hmm.
So 0 becomes a -1. What happens? I just said it.
Blocked. You said it.
Yes, but why is it blocked? I'm gonna ask you, why is it blocked?
Because it's nothing is there, or
No, it's blocked because it's less than a 0.
oh, we do the binary thing, right?
Yeah,
No, counting.
Yeah.
counting. Because
Counting.
remember in counting, we're like, if the semaphore is less than a 0, no, if it's less than a 0,
B block.
it's less than a 0, then you just block it, है ना? So
Okay.
in this case, if it's blocked, when something is blocked, so this is blocked, right? Over here, this is blocked. Let me highlight this. Over here, this is blocked. When this is blocked, it means that red alert, you cannot go down. The only way this goes down is when -1 goes back to 0, है ना?
Acha, hai.
When empty goes back to 0, that's when it gets unblocked. And according to this entire code, entire whole thing, producing consumer, the only place empty can go back to -1 or can go back to ++ is over here. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
So देखो, now it's blocked over here, so it cannot run the remaining lines of code. So what the CPU is gonna do, it's gonna be like, oh, let's switch to consumer. So it switches to consumer. It switches to consumer. It does P full. It does P full. ठीक है? Let me give me 1 second. It does P full. What happens to full? Because we know full is at the start 5.
So 5 goes to 4.
Does it get blocked?
Nah.
Good. It does not get blocked. Now next is P mutex. Oh wait,
Mhm.
no, sorry. यहाँ पर कर रहा हूँ. The 5 becomes 4. Next is P mutex.
Okay.
So what happens to mutex?
So mutex 6 is 1 now here. Oh, 0 there.
No, wait, one second. No, this is -1. This is 1. This is 0. Yeah.
No,
One
no,
second.
no. Oh, muted is. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. वो गलती हो गई थी. -1. No.
Okay.
So what happens to mutex over here?
So that goes to 0.
0 goes to
0 goes to 1.
0 goes to 0. It's
Uh,
mutex is binary. So if it does not go to
So
-1,
is professor give us that this is binary, this is counting?
yes, professor is gonna give it, but
Okay.
99.999, 100%, like every time when she gives a mutex is gonna be binary.
Acha. Okay.
ठीक है ना? Every time she
Mhm.
gives a mutex is gonna be binary. So if it's a 0 and you do P on a 0, it goes to 0. So this gets blocked too. So what happens is that this is blocked over here, this is blocked over here. So both are blocked, so both are stuck. अब कुछ होगा नहीं, घर जाओ, अब they're just stuck. कुछ नहीं होगा.
So,
Okay.
what's any tips for seeing that right away?
Any tip for seeing this right away? Practice.
Gotcha.
No, trust me. I'm not joking. देखो, she's gonna give the exact same question. The exact same question she's gonna give. This is how she's gonna give the question. Section 1, she's gonna give you producer consumer. Section 2, she's gonna give you reader writer.
Which one is easier? Reader writer?
Both are same. I feel like both are same.
Reader
No,
writer.
I feel like producer consumer is easier.
Really?
No, reader writer. No, अभी देखता हूँ. I forgot honestly. But does this make sense?
Yes.
GG makes sense.
Do we go reader writer problem today or tomorrow?
Let's see. Give me 1 second. Let's see if we could finish this and then we'll do mushroom.
Wahab के लिए coffee ला भाई. He needs to stay
Okay.
up on.
Let me give you one more part B. It's similar. Let's see if you guys get this. Let's see. But I want Lamia and Sama to do this.
And me
What-
too, bro.
What will be the outcome? Because I know you study before, bro.
Class गया हूँ भाई सर.
Bob, are you getting the gist of it or no?
Bro, I'm lost.
Even I'm lost too. I'm worse lost.
Talk about you, bro.
The title has been changed. Mad the lost.
Yeah, bro, I give up my title to you, bro.
Bro, I came in like what, like 30 minutes ago, bro. You guys
Okay.
were already in. I don't even know.
Bro, but she taught us in class too, man.
Okay. Part A, she said, what would be the outcome of switching P mutex and P empty in producer? ठीक है? And now she's like, what will be the outcome of switching P mutex and P4 in consumer? Now do this. Do you want me-
Wahab,
Hanji?
for the one, we just show her like this that you showed us. That like this too. Producer.
Let me show you how you guys show her the answer. Give me 1 second. Let me show you how you showed her the answer.
Okay.
This is how you're gonna show her the answer. This is the question. ठीक है ना? You show her execution steps, and you just show, oh, at this point it gets blocked, and this gets blocked too. And underneath you just explain.
Oh shit, we have to do both?
Yes.
Oh shit.
You just explain, you be like, oh, when we go to producer, you see that producer blocks at P wait 1 second. Producer blocks at P empty. Let me go back to my thing. This is how you're gonna explain. Do you want me to write it? I don't want to write it.
No,
I'll just type it someday.
Yeah, right. They're logging this. Okay, I thought it was just explaining it. Okay.
No, that's all. You basically, let me show you. Let me show you what you guys need to do. Honestly, I'm gonna write.
You have it right there. You have it right there.
Here we go. No, it's good.
Isn't
This
that the
is
one?
this is what you're gonna show. This is what you are gonna show. You are gonna show what the mutex is. Shit. You're gonna basically start off be like, let's suppose mutex is 1, full is 5, and empty is 0. Okay? That's what you're gonna say. That's what this is this. Then you show the execution sequence. You show it exactly like this. You then show the execution sequence. If you show this amount, that's half the points.
Okay.
And then the last part is you are like, based on these execution sequence, you can see that when you switch up mutex and empty in producer,
फजूल चीज repeat कर रहे हो भाई.
मैं लिख रहा था so that it's easy for you guys to memorize. मैं इसे लिख रहा हूँ, मैं नहीं लिखता, मर्जी है.
I'm just helping you, I know. Yes, I know you're helping us, but I'm helping you too.
It gets blocked at p empty. You can also be like, oh, because 0 goes to -1, it gets blocked. And then when you do consumer, A blocks in P mutex, which is this over here. This blocks over here, and this blocks over here, leading to a deadlock. Guys, remember what deadlock was?
Both of them are starting for resources.
Yes, leading to deadlock. If you explain this amount like this, then the execution sequence and explanation, that's full points.
Okay.
Wow. Amazing.
And you don't necessarily, just like Hasib said, you don't necessarily have to start with producer. You can also start with consumer too. But eventually you need to make them both get to deadlock.
जी समझ गया.
Okay, now this is the next question.
Switch कर दो इन दोनों.
Wahab, you do it for us.
What? She wants you to do it.
I want you to do it.
No, you do it for us.
Why?
Let me practice first.
Okay, Omar, you try. My brain is not working now.
Naomi is gonna try too.
I'm sitting here like I sit.
She's
We all sit together, and I never stand in from here. Just sitting.
Me too.
You too?
Do that again?
Now I honestly, but we have to. Thanks, Wahab.
You're about to. Let me just explain this.
So
What happened?
You dipping?
what happened? Who's
What
the
happened?
You guys dipping?
No. What happened?
Saima going? You're leaving?
No, I'm not leaving. I'm saying now, tired, feeling tired.
Don't say that. Wahab is the one teaching. He's more tired than us.
Bro, now I'm tired because in my head I have to see the recording again.
Just stay quiet and mute yourself. Don't tell him you're tired. He's gonna get tired by hearing you.
What's happening, bro? I'm lost.
Muted.
Okay. I'm not gonna show the code for this. I'm just gonna explain on that thing.
One second. Let us focus. Let me do it myself a little. I don't think I can figure it out, but let me try it.
Okay. Can you see my thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So Saima, the professor is saying, first she asked for the producer. She's like, what if you switch this and this? Now she's like, what if you switch this and this? Okay?
Yeah.
So in this case, what we did was we're like, let's suppose buffer is full for this. But when it's consumer, you do the opposite. Let's suppose buffer is empty. Okay? So how you would do this, you start off with buffer and buffer is empty. Okay? Buffer is empty. Buffer has nothing inside. When buffer has nothing, what would be full? What would be empty?
Empty will be 5.
Empty will be 5.
And full will be 0.
Full will be 0. Good.
And the
So-
mutex will be 1, no?
So empty will be and mutex will be 1.
Mutex is always 1.
Okay. So I think I got it little
So
bit.
mutex will be 1.
So when
If we
consume
run that, what
will
is 0? Mutex is 1. 1 becomes 0. Okay, now
So
we switch to the
so
other
let's
side.
suppose, which one do you guys want to start off with? You guys want to start off with producer, or you
Consumer.
guys want to start consumer?
Consumer.
You know, okay. What happens to full first?
Full becomes blocked.
Huh?
we'll try.
Full becomes blocked. 0
No,
becomes
no, no,
negative
shit. My fault. Remember how we Hasib's right. We switched both of them. Remember?
Yeah.
What do you
We
mean
switched
switch?
this.
Oh
We-
shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you're right. You're right.
Mutex and then
Mutex becomes 0, and then full gets blocked,
Take care.
and then empty becomes
Give me what is mutex? What is mutex right now?
0.
1 becomes
1, 2, 0.
Yeah.
Take care.
G.
And then what about p equal to 4?
becomes 5.
0 to -1.
Yeah.
What?
0 becomes -1.
0 to becomes -1. What happens over there? It gets what?
Block.
Blocked. Once I get blocked, can the remaining lines run?
No, get lost now. Move to the left side.
It's basically blocked. Consumer has nothing to do. So now let's do PMT now for producer. What happens to PMT?
Becomes 4.
It becomes 4,
Mhm.
5.
Oh, I got it, man. I got it.
5 becomes 4. And then what happens to mutex?
Blocked.
Blocked. 0 becomes 0.
So, how would you say that we should try full and empty all the time? Like flipping around, like max it out?
All the time.
Like,
All
yeah, just do like the full extreme of both sides. Like, just
well,
do.
that's what the answer is.
Yeah, I'm
That's
saying, yeah, like for all of the test questions I'm talking about. Not just for this.
she's gonna give you she's gonna give you 2 questions. One is this, one is this. It's always the same. Every time it's the same. And the last is this.
And the last is the show two threads cannot access the same memory location in the buffer at the same time. They cannot access the same. Okay.
So you're supposed to the same thing now for this one. You got 1 and 2, right? Oh yeah, I forgot. Producer and consumer, it's the easier one. Reader writer is the harder one.
Really?
Because it's harder because the second question for reader writer, no one knows the answer. Even Ivan doesn't know the answer.
What's the question?
पता नहीं अजीब सा क्वेश्चन था मुझे मैं देखता हूँ उसका एक दफा I'll look into and I'll see but
पूरी रात जागे रहो प्रैक्टिस करते रहो
चले
Let's do the exam as homework.
okay
Exam producer consumer.
let's do 3 and we'll call it a day. Okay.
जी सही है. Fair enough.
Show that the 2 threads. Let me show that 2 threads cannot access the same memory location in the buffer at the same time. Oh, I like that. Honestly, I love this question. Nerd alert.
Show as two threads cannot access the same memory location in the buffer at the same time. So we have to disprove it or prove it?
You need to prove that producer and consumer satisfy their things. So we did 2. Give me 1 second. 3 is show that 2 threads are basically producer and consumer cannot access same memory location at same time.
So basically run the code and then the counters should change, I guess. Like the in and out should always be different, I guess.
What you guess, huh?
Something like that?
So it's basically saying that let's suppose this is the buffer, right? Let me make it bigger. How am I being confused?
Naya bingi.
Let's suppose this is the buffer.
उसने different buffer किया था, उसने horizontal buffer किया था.
Same thing, bro.
Oh, you don't have to be so neat about it. Who cares?
I like a knee, bro. Shut up.
एकदम लड़कियों की तरह draw कर दे भाई.
Acha, let's suppose she's saying, this is 3, 4, and 5. She's saying, can producer and consumer access the same memory location at the same time? You need to prove that.
She's saying cannot access them.
Yeah, basically you need to prove that both of them cannot access them at the same time.
So what if we disprove it? That they can access it?
Bro, to so much you need like you need to prove that they cannot access at the same time. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. And then we'll call it a day.
Say it. So we need a sequence of code now.
Yes, you need a sequence of code now. Code now. Okay, for this one, it's kind of long, but bear with me. Pagal, you dumbass. मैं एक वजह से अच्छा कर रहा था. I was doing a neat because there was a reason. Let me do a neat.
You really had to fix that shit again.
Let me fix it.
You have shapes in there, bro. Draw some shapes from there, bro. Pre-made shapes. You don't have any of those in there? Wow.
Okay. Let's go. What is mutex at the start?
One.
What I'm gonna show right now is basically the answer. ठीक है? Answer. So if you wanna write, you can write it down, but it's the answer. What is mutex at the start?
Uno.
Uno, dos, tres. What is full? 0.
Empty. 0.
Empty is 5. In is 0.
0
Out
and out
is
is 0.
0. ठीक है? This is given.
Given. मुझे लगा we wrote something like this is given.
Okay. So we start off with consumer. Give me 1 second.
Consumer. Okay. Professor. Flutor.
Give me 1 second. Let me see how I did it last time.
नींद आ रही है. Oh my god, I gotta do
Okay.
this.
Did you guys pray it?
No, not yet. I'm gonna pray in a bit.
I hope I don't go to sleep without praying.
Okay, let's start and then it's gonna take like 7 minutes. Populate first first lot. Okay, you do producer for the first time. Okay, you do producer for the first time, and then what's the first thing that happens that it does? Yeah, open the code on the side.
Empty something.
No, open the code on the side.
Hold on.
Producer data.
So first thing is producer data. It does producer data. Take care. I'm just looking at the code. Open the code. Okay. First thing is it does producer data. What's the next thing?
PMT.
PMT.
Walk me through. PMT, what is this?
That becomes 4, 5 becomes
5 becomes 4. What is next?
PMutex.
Tahajjud.
What this becomes?
1 becomes
0, 1 becomes 0.
1 becomes 0. What is next?
N becomes 1.
In का जो भी statement है, N becomes
1.
1. 0 becomes 1. What's next? Vmutex.
Vmutex.
V becomes 1.
V
0 becomes 1.
0 becomes 1. What's next?
Buffer in.
Buffer N equal data.
Yeah.
Buffer N equal data.
Then V full.
And then V full. What does become?
1 second.
One.
V full हो गया 1 0 से 1 हो गया.
Does it get blocked? No.
No.
Now let's put now I'm gonna do let's do a lighter color now. Now populate
Populate what?
second slot.
Oh, we have to do that 5 times.
So P happens again. Okay.
Oh, that was the long part that people were writing. Okay, keep going.
Produce data. Something
Okay,
happens. Okay.
makes sense.
What's next? P equal to
PMT equals to 3.
walking. Hurry up, fast.
For 4 becomes 3.
Next.
P mutex 0 become 1 becomes 0.
One becomes. What happened?
N equals 0 to 1 becomes 2.
I become slow.
1
What
becomes
happened?
2.
I'm
What you say?
copying. So
Oh,
1
you
becomes 2, bro. 1 becomes 2. Not the 0 becomes 1.
yeah, one big.
हाँ we क्या लिख रहे हो भाई 1 becomes 2
कहाँ पर?
Hold on.
in
Mutex is 1 become
0. That's it.
yeah underneath in 0 1 becomes 2
1.
Oh.
Yeah, 1 becomes 2.
Happy? खुश? हाँ?
Yes,
अब खुश हूँ मैं अरे
One
जल्दी
becomes-
लिखो छेती 0 becomes 1 0 becomes 1 after that hurry up
Oof, this is. I don't like this.
come on hurry up what are you doing
अच्छा, 1 becomes 2. ठीक है?
हाँ
And
हाँ
V mutex
1 0 becomes 1
0 becomes 1.
You have to write all of them.
yeah you have to write that
Buffer whatever becomes data, whatever that is, and V
becomes 2
becomes
0
full.
1 becomes 2
1 becomes
2
1
keep
becomes.
writing calculate
I'm
3
gonna do producer 3 times. So you could do 2 times or 3 times, but I'm gonna do 3 times just for the sake of it. So
okay let me say it fast
I cannot.
okay producer data PMT so 3 becomes 2 PMT 3 becomes 2
1 becomes 0.
oh,
3 becomes 2 hurry up
My head is hurting, bro.
3 becomes 2 P mutex 1 becomes 0
so what's going on right now is basically the first one has been filled,
second one has been filled, third one has been
3 has been filled, 2 has been filled. Currently we're filling this. ठीक है ना?
P mutex 1 becomes 0
Whatever that is, 1 becomes 0,
Then
and
V
whatever that
mutex.
is becomes 2 becomes 3.
3.
This is 3. Then
Yes,
V mutex, whatever that is,
becomes 1
becomes 1. Then buffer
blah,
wala
blah,
line,
blah.
and then V full, है ना?
2 becomes 3
2 becomes 3.
समझ गया
So whatever this is, let's suppose 7. Okay.
Yeah.
That you go happy?
समझ गया अब
So
consumer
so far, just say this: that 3 locations have been filled.
filled
I cannot copy.
No. We did something wrong with this. Sorry. For this,
क्या हो गया क्या मसला
we don't want to do the last line.
Okay, you wanna go to the other.
We don't want to do the last line. Before doing the last line, because currently we're still in the producer process. Because अगर हम last line run कर लेंगे ना, that means that if you're on the last line, that means that now we're on the 4th slot. You know, we're just saying that instead of doing the last line, or you don't have to be like, instead of doing, you can either stop over here or you can stop over here.
No, how is it telling us we're on the 4th line when full becomes 3?
क्या मतलब?
Full is 2.
Full will become 3 though. How is that telling us?
मतलब it basically means the next step is gonna be the next slot for producer, है ना? Currently, what I'm saying is that producer hasn't finished. The question is, show that 2 threads cannot access the same memory location in the buffer at the same time. When producer is happening, it's currently in the same memory location. But when I do the last part, V full, it means that I'm done with this producer.
Okay, yeah, that means you're done with it. Yes, that makes sense.
I mean, so I'm just saying, yeah, I'm not done, but before I'm done, consumer comes in.
Acha, yeah, buffer. So the buffer is the main part because the buffer is putting in the data in there.
Yes. So
Okay, before the buffer.
after the third producer, and before finishing the third producer, I'm currently in the third one. I'm currently in the third, adding information, right? But before doing the buffer, before adding before adding this in, I just switch to the next line.
Yeah, makes
Okay?
sense. Makes sense.
Makes sense?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
You could add, technically you could add or you don't have to add, but you get the point basically. Now you do consumer. Walk me through.
People becomes of
Hold on. Do we have to write the thing that we are saying, like three location fill
You don't have to technically write, but अगर लिख दोगे तो it's like extra stuff you're writing. You basically have to prove the answer. When I do my answer, this is how I'll do it. This is what I'm gonna write. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
जब मैं करूँगा मैं ये सारा लिखूंगा.
Okay.
So no, because even Ivan did this.
I know that you're supposed to do that. I'm joking. Okay. P becomes 1. 2 becomes 1.
Yeah, you're right, smarty. 2 becomes 1.
And
Just
then
keep in mind, currently producer is in the third slot. ठीक है ना? हमने show करना है कि two producer and consumer are trying to access the third slot. Is that possible? ठीक है ना? Show that that's not possible. Show that this isn't possible. So it's currently in the third slot, and before it moves on to the next one, we switch to consumer. ठीक है? So when consumer, 2 becomes 1, and what's the next line?
mutex, so 1 becomes 0.
P mutex becomes 0. 1 becomes 0. What's next?
Out.
Whatever that is. What is out?
I don't know actually.
0
becomes 1.
Out is 0, 1.
Oh, we're only taking on 1, so it's 1.
V
Yeah.
mutex.
0 becomes 1.
Now we do data.
Whatever the line is, data wala line jo bhi hai, and then we do vmt.
VMT and V full.
What is VMT?
PMD.
Huh?
PMT.
VMT. What is VMT?
V release.
VMT.
Watch out! There's an error in my code. Sorry.
2 becomes 3. Because remember,
error in the Bible. Bible में गलती है भाई.
2 becomes 3. ठीक है ना?
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes.
And then consume whatever that is, and then we do consumer again. Okay? Consumer first time, consumer second time. P full again. What is full now?
0.
1 becomes 0. Does it get blocked?
No.
Good.
No.
Now P mutex again.
1 becomes 0.
1 becomes 0. Same thing happens. Out. Same thing
1
happens.
becomes 2.
1 becomes 2. Like out
0
for the
becomes
statement.
1.
V mutex.
0 becomes
2 becomes 1. रट्टा लगाया भाई मैंने
0
तो.
becomes 1. Data only line. And
Data
then
वाली line,
V
empty वाली
empty.
line 3 से 4 होगी.
3 से 4 होगी. Now we're in the third slot. आप देखो प्रोड्यूसर ने पहले ये कर लिया, इसको कंज्यूम कर लिया खत्म, इसको कंज्यूम कर लिया खत्म, and now it's in the third slot. But you gotta see the fact that हम प्रोड्यूसर को थर्ड स्लॉट में छोड़कर आए हैं अभी. Producer isn't done with the third slot.
Yeah.
Do you get that? But question is show that two threads cannot access same memory location at the same time.
Yes.
So now consumer is trying to access the third slot. We do P full.
Block हो जाएगा. Full becomes -1. Oh my god.
0 becomes -1.
Blocked.
यार भाई बात सुन भाई, एक बहुत अच्छा सवाल है. इतना कोड लिखने के बजाय बेहतर नहीं हम थ्रेड को दूसरे में ब्लॉक करते हैं, लाइक वी शुड ब्लॉक द सेकंड थ्रेड.
But future.
ज्यादा कोड
Oh
लिखना
yeah, you can do that. You're right.
You could do that. But
उसने कहा था 2 कर लो minimum.
हाँ 2 का भी कर सकते हो, 2 भी कर सकते हो हाँ.
You're right.
But do you get it?
Right.
Lamia, do you get this?
Yes, I got it.
See, we just showed that when producer is in the, and after this you could just explain that when producer is in the third slot, and then and before finishing the third slot, consumer comes in
and try to access the memory.
It gets blocked.
अब्दुल ये मुझे बताओ, ये मैं कैसे रियलाइज करूंगा कि फुल को मुझे नहीं सेंड करना है वापस.
क्या मतलब?
हाँ,
Like I stopped before the full line, you know, the 2 lines.
वो वही तो बात है. You don't. But I said the same time 10 times. The same exact questions are gonna come. रट्टा मारो बस.
रट्टा मार मार
यार
मार.
Memorize,
उससे
bro.
एनालॉजी पकड़ ले.
Like me.
Huh?
Memorize everything like me.
But you get it? But my job was to explain the concept. Now your job is ratta.
Yeah.
Student of the year competition चल रहा है भाई.
Okay, this is producer consumer problem. And my
वहाँ अभी किधर गया? और बाप, you understood everything?
वो तो सो रहे हैं.
I'm gonna have to rewatch the recording, bro.
Imagine you slept on your desk again.
But honestly, so Matt, if you think about it, you don't need to know too much in depth about the problem. The only thing you need to know is the answer, right?
But am I struggling explaining it?
Explaining, I look at Ivan thing and just do copy that.
रट्टा मार. Gotcha. Yeah.
But
Yep.
that's question 3.
So, Matt,
Question 1.
Matt, do you go to class? Matt,
No, notes look so nice.
What are you saying? Sorry, let's see. What are you saying?
do you go to class?
No, I went last week. I missed other last 2 days. Last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Arbab, ye dekh.
After the quiz, I didn't go.
What the hell is this?
What is that? Apple, banana. What is that,
It
bro?
looks like Bloody Mary right here. What the hell?
Arbab, look at
That was
this.
the easy stuff, bro. That was the easiest one.
What? That's easy?
Yes.
That I could teach you right now, bro.
course.
That I could teach you right now.
Oh, of course, bro.
Bob, you have 4 A's in your name.
Arbab, look at this.
अल्लाह मुझे माफ करे अगर कुछ किया ऐसा. भाई ये क्या है भाई?
Hey, Arpap, how are you gonna watch 3 hours of video, bro?
4 hours.
Oh, bro, I have to put on
Wow.
time too, bro.
Bro, I can never.
Honestly, I can never too, bro. It's so much.
I can't. Like right now, I was like, when you're actually talking, then time goes fast. But if you're looking at the video, you sleep, bro. You get bored to death, bro. You literally you can't.
No,
I
but
can never.
I speak
Matt,
that.
I'm the same
I
as
have a
you.
choice.
Cannot study alone. Like this kind of stuff. I get bored.
Wahab, tomorrow, what time you will be teaches us?
Same time?
Huh?
10?
Huh?
When Umaya sends the iPad Pro.
Oh,
No, guys,
Bro, yeah,
before
Ben
joining
बोला था
another
सर.
class,
yeah.
we should solve the exam questions.
Yo, by tomorrow, you guys should master these 2 topics, okay?
Okay, dekho.
Yeah.
Let me show you guys something. Dekho.
Brother, do it at 9.
Okay, let me show you something. देखो, there's 3 different types of questions, right? एक तो हमने कर लिया नीचे, sample 3, right? Whatever that is, sample 3. This is the easiest. Just do some practice. You got this.
Yeah. The semaphore was
Easy 5 points.
Easiest, है ना?
Yeah.
And then this is also easy.
This is
The only
also
thing,
confusing.
not that bad.
but bro, you have देखो, Umar, you have answers. Just रट्टा the answers, bro. Just
नहीं भाई,
remember.
सीखना है मुझे भाई.
देखो, if you want to learn again, watch Nesso Academy. Trust me.
Who?
Nesso Academy and Gate Smashers.
But I don't know who they are.
Arbab sent in the group chat. But after you guys get the concept what producer
Yes.
consumer is? Most
Yes.
people don't even know what that is. So you guys get the producer consumer problem. Like one produces, one consumes. You guys basically you guys have half the answer. You just need to memorize this.
Yeah.
And then you need to memorize this. And then this. And I feel like this is easy points. Easy points, you got this.
Just repeating things.
Reader writer is same thing, but it's a different concept. Over here it was a buffer. This time it's gonna be a database.
Database 331. Let's go.
It's gonna be database. It's almost the same thing.
I'm ready. Let's go.
But be happy you don't have dining philosopher. It's also same thing, but it's like the hardest one.
It's easy, bro. Chopsticks, bro. Easy.
अगर उसे डाइनिंग हटाया तो तुम्हारा क्या आएगा फिर उसके बदले?
Oh yeah. If dining comes, what are we gonna do?
No, if dining is out,
Professor से माफी मांगो बस, he will
what
forgive
comes
you.
in?
She never
If there's
forgives
no dining, what other question is coming?
anyone.
I don't know. वो नहीं वो ही दो हैं.
Bro, पता है प्रोफेसर ने किया है? उसने डॉक्यूमेंट अपलोड किया था मिड टर्म का. उसने पहले प्रोजेक्ट लिखा हुआ था, ठीक है? बाद में रिटर्न फिर से अपलोड किया डॉक्यूमेंट मिड टर्म का. उसने प्रोजेक्ट हटा दिया.
What?
What did he say?
What happened? I don't understand.
আমি বাংলা সমস্যা আমি বাংলা understand করছো
All I have to do is post, that's it. What about you, Umar?
what happened say that again
I don't know, bro. I just heard Korkos and that was it.
bro why you cursing bro have you ever seen me curse bro why you always cursing
Okay,
say it in Bengali bro I love it if you
This
speak Bengali bro
the story question. The
shut
story
up,
question.
guys.
The
Something
story.
our
The,
teacher saying.
the story question is the hardest one.
the story is easy bro it's light work
Did you do it?
I heard Adnan and them doing it I would look
Oh,
at
it wasn't, bro. It was kind of hard.
Okay,
I think
I'll give Adnan a question. Let's see if he's able to do it.
no, they had some ideas so I didn't write anything but I was just looking at them
उसको बाकी आ गया था बाकी वगैरह
Baki तुझसे सीखा I didn't learn anything
No, Adnan and them.
Yeah, ये लोग
oh
बहुत
yeah they
कर
know
रहे हैं।
everything already yeah they know everything
That's good, mashallah. Adnan is the smarty, bro.
but they've been studying OD though every time like they've been
Adnan is smart at for 340 and ChatGPT everything for 340.
Adnan is smart yeah
He is in my group.
and
He
what
was in my group for 370 class.
I mean he helped me pass 323
And he did everything ChatGPT.
he helped me and I got way more than him he was so pissed
Hmm.
oh yeah he's never teaching me after that
Who?
Adnan
Okay, guys, I'm out. Okay.
Acha Wahab
Okay, bye, Wahab. So tomorrow at 7, 6, what time?
that's
No,
too
no,
early.
no, not 7, 8 or 9. Please.
Okay, 9. 9 will be good, Wahab.
Yeah, we can stay up all night till like 2 a.m. and pray tahajjud and then pray
Bro,
for Allah.
I gotta see. I might have a meeting with Steve Jobs.
MashaAllah. It's okay, Steve Jobs, you can postpone the meeting with him.
Steve Jobs, bro, you catch a
Acha, let us know in the group,
Did you
guys.
just say Steve Jobs?
Huh? He's dead, bro.
Ghost के साथ?
He's dead.
मैं ये सोच रहा था
Why do you realize this right now?
Baba, I feel bad for you, RIP.
Why?
बेचारा 4 घंटे देखेगा अब.
No, he'll get it, I think.
About watch on 2x, half of it is just us doing BS stuff.
Yeah, facts, bro. Just yeah, facts. Skip a lot of it, bro.
Because we did.
You can watch it in 1 hour,
I'll
bro.
just
You
see
can watch it in
what's
1 hour.
relevant, basically, yeah. I mean, I'll just see whatever is relevant.
Everything's relevant. We talk shit about you
Yeah,
too.
he started from base, bro. It's very important you build up your base. You know?
Wahab,
Huh?
after the meeting, so when download finish, send it to the group, the recording, please.
I'm gonna upload on YouTube.
But that takes too long, bro. Just send us a
Bro,
document.
Oh, YouTube's quicker. Google Drive is longer, bro.
Bro, YouTube is quicker, Umar, bro, cause give me 1 second.
Yeah, I already subscribed to you. Don't worry, I will get the
Recording
notification.
now.
Huh?
क्या हुआ?
I
I
said
already subscribed to you.
we are just talking about this stuff.